Alright. And let's kill that so YouTube doesn't kill us. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Let me just look through all of the different videos that we're gonna have to load, because there's gonna be a bunch of them. Let's see. I don't have to load any from that, or that, or that. Let me load up this video. Okay, we don't need the audio from that, really. I don't need that video from The Verge. On that The Beast adjective species article, is there any video, Pharaoh? Or no?
I don't think so.
I'm guessing not. All right. Let me just adjust the compressor on our mics a little bit. I just want to bump the ratio up just a bit. Okay. Cool. Ratio of 2 to 1. Let's see. I don't think there's anything there. I'm gonna delete the Spherificator article from the thing. Wow, yeah, there's almost no videos, really. I'm surprised. I thought there were more videos, but I guess there's not. There is stuff to show, but just not videos. I suppose there's the video from Ford, so I'll pull that up really quick. Ford Motor Vehicle. Alright. Good, audio channels are working good there. Cool, that's good. Let me just get graphics and everything ready for tonight. Dooba-dooba-doo. Hooray. Pre-show. I'm gonna move that camera down a little bit, actually. I should move it to pretty much that. Okay, I'll move down to there. Starting soon. So looking at Pharaoh.
Nothing. Just browsing.
Watch this, like, cut off my head now. Watch this camera view cut off my head. Oh, no, it's good. We're good. Cool. That's actually, that's just about perfect. Cool. I'm okay with that. Alright, anyway. Hi, YouTube. By the way, I hope I fixed the lip sync issues. That should be a good enough way to test. We'll see. Maybe.
Are we saying hi to YouTube?
What?
Oh, YouTube's there. Where?
Yeah.
Here?
YouTube is right there.
Where? There.
Right there.
Right there.
Yeah, right there.
It's very small.
It is very small.
I thought it would be bigger.
You could use a bigger dick.
What? I don't want to use anything.
YouTube could have a bigger dick. I think that would work out.
Okay.
I had to make it about dicks. That way it would you would lose interest. Because that's how everything in life works, actually.
Like your Captain Planet Dick move on Twitter?
What?
Like Captain Planet. You know how like there's Earth, Wind, Fire, and there was just like Dick, Dick, and Dick. Our powers combined.
Oh, I've never seen that.
No, that was you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, on AD Twitter. Yeah. I know what you're talking about now. Sorry. I didn't recognize immediately. So that's good. Okay. Cool. All levels are good. We are almost ready to go. I just need to put out push notifications. FurCast starts now! Exclamation point. Send iOS, send Android. My phone's gonna ding. There it goes. I should probably mute that. Here we go. FurCast starts now! Double exclamation point. And then, in order to know it's legit, I gotta put :3 at the end. Because if you don't put :3 at the end, how do you know it's legit?
What?
Nothing.
I like =3.
Fuck you. I don't listen to your =3 nonsense.
You say bullshit?
I like your tweet. Now to do a show where animals pretend to be people pretending to be... Wait. Now we do a show where animals pretend to be people pretending to be animals. FurCast.fm. That's great. Oh, man.
In a way, it's true.
Yeah. Good. No IPv6 traffic going through there.
How you say starting any minute?
Yeah. I'm recording on everything, right? Yep. We're recording on everything. It's all good. All right. Welcome to FurCast, episode 206, I think? Yeah, 206. I'm your host this evening, Paradox the Red Wolf.
You think?
Yeah, I think. No, it's definitely 206 because I wrote it right there.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I mean, it is good.
It's not,
we know what
it's
episode
not 27?
What?
It's not 207?
It's definitely not 207.
It's not 205.
No, it's not 205. I just
somewhere in
recently-
between.
Yeah.
Like 205.8.
Okay. It could be 205.8 because it's only you and me tonight. You should probably introduce yourself, by the way.
Who am I?
Exactly.
Yeah. Something.
You ever going to introduce yourself or you just going to not?
I'm Pharaoh, your fabulous Blue Fox host.
There we go. So, yeah, guys, sorry. It's just me and Pharaoh tonight. CJ is, of course, tons of people have been asking me in the chat, where's CJ? Oh, my God. CJ is at a drift event where he gets in his car and he spends a shit ton of money blowing tires and they go around and around in a figure of eight. And, yeah, I'm not even sure how he does that with paws because he's a dog, but...
Well, he just chases balls in circles with his car.
Oh, with his car.
Yes.
But how does he drive the car if he's a dog? And
Well, he doesn't. That's why it just screeches and does circles.
Oh, okay. So that's why he blows all the tires at the end.
Yeah, that's why all the tires explode.
There we go. Yeah, so anyway, CJ will be back next week, guys. And if anybody's curious about it, I'm sure you can ask him online on Twitter or on Facebook or something like that. Get all of his stuff. In fact, speaking of which, we need to add his contact information to the FurCast website because I don't think it's added. But anyway... not much stuff in the announcement section of the show. We're pretty much going to jump right into news in just a second. But of anything to talk about, I'm really excited. I'm getting a new camera. I'm really excited for it. It's a full frame DSLR. I'm finally going full frame. I only have a few lenses that'll work with it, but I'm just really excited. That's coming on Monday, so that's going to be fun. The camera that's shooting the show now is a lower model of the same camera. Well, different product line, but same brand and everything. And then that was pretty much it. I just wanted to brag about the camera. And then only other thing to announce just in the intro is shout out to everybody who's at RMFC, which is what? Rocky Mountain FurCon? Yeah, a lot of people at Rocky Mountain FurCon.
We're not at Rocky Mountain FurCon.
We're not at Rocky Mountain FurCon. If you are at Rocky Mountain FurCon right now, then why the fuck are you listening to this? You should probably go.
It'd be funny as hell is if we had like this all set up like at a con,
right?
And then all of a sudden just the walls collapse and there's just a con happening behind us,
and we just like look around.
Everything's been a lie all these years. We've actually been at a con the entire time.
It kind of reminds me of
all shows pre-recorded.
It kind of reminds me of it was the episode of Between Two Ferns where they interviewed Obama. When he's just like, what happens if I push this button? He's like, don't push that button. And he pushes the button and it drops and they're in the Oval Office. And he's like, who the fuck gave you permission to like film in here? And it was like a joke that like every single episode of the show had always been filmed in the Oval Office of the White House. It was funny. But anyway. So speaking of in the media, I was going to mention that CJ finished season 2 of BoJack Horseman. He texted me to say that he had finished it, but he's not here.
I haven't finished it.
You haven't finished season 2? I
Nope.
finished season 2.
I watched like the first 4 episodes.
Well, what do you think?
It's a lot of stuff.
It's very intense. It is not. Yeah, BoJack Horseman is a serious show. Like it's a cartoon and it's comedy, but there's a plot and there's like, oh my god, man! I've been in tears almost a few times over that show.
I haven't been in tears, but I've been watching intently.
Yeah, it's difficult. And speaking of Netflix,
my favorite part though was when I was watching the new season and the wolf and fox were on stage.
Yes.
And the fox was hosting everything all nice. He's like, "Oh yes," and the awards, and you're like, "I'm a wolf, I'm a wolf," and the wolf was just standing next to the fox the entire time.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. I need to find that again and watch that scene again from BoJack Horseman. Oh my god. Yeah, for those of you who have never watched BoJack Horseman, seriously, just get like a 30-day trial of Netflix, binge watch it. It's oh my god. It is like everything like imagine if furries made a cartoon. That is essentially what this is.
I feel like the Horsehead inspired BoJack Horseman.
I feel like either the Horsehead or just furries in general. And I think the director of BoJack Horseman actually did an AMA on Reddit, and people were like, "Are you a furry?" And he just kind of laughed, and he's like, "No." Da, 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 da. And then that was it. There was no answer. Like he didn't say yes, but he didn't say no. So I'm not really sure, but I'm sure some of the creators of BoJack Horseman are probably furries.
Just Just reach out to the creators, have them interview the creators of BoJack Horseman.
That'd be really fun. It'd probably be really difficult to do that though.
You think?
I don't know. They were just on NPR recently. Then again, we were on NPR once, so I don't know. But
anyone can be on NPR.
Yeah. Well, it depends on whether you're on NPR or whether you're on a syndicate station, because we were on a syndicate station in Pittsburgh the one year France.
Still counts.
Still counts. Anyway, speaking of Netflix, I feel like we're not being paid by Netflix or anything, but just want to shout out, I never knew this, but Sense8 was actually renewed for a second season. And for those of you who are interested in Sense8 or watched it and liked it, which actually a couple people emailed in and said you guys followed my recommendation to watch it and really liked it, they just released on Netflix like a 20 to 30 minute special about basically all the behind the scenes information on like not really how they filmed it, but more just like the characters and like the actors and flying to all the different locations, and you get to see some really sexy Arri Alexa camera rigs on Steadicam. It's great. So yeah, a lot of fun. But yeah, so Sense8 BoJack Horseman. We're not being paid by Netflix, but go watch
Can
these
we?
shows. They're really
We should.
We should.
That'd be awesome.
What if we were sponsored by Netflix? I like most of the shows that they produce lately. At this point,
We'd be sponsored by anything.
don't you watch Netflix at work too? Because you get.
I used to.
You used to.
Before people fucked it up.
Oh, how did that drama at work go? By the way, I don't know if you want to talk about that on the
No,
show.
no, no, I didn't mention that.
You don't want to mention that on the show?
No, I never want to mention
Okay,
that.
well, you won't mention that on the show then. And the other thing you had in the media section was GOP debates.
Those happened.
Did you actually want to talk about that on the show? Because I have nothing to say. I didn't watch it.
I drank to it. I made a drinking game out of it.
I avoided Twitter for it. I'll put it that way.
It was pretty bad.
It was bad. I feel like everyone watched the GOP debate just for like the popcorn, in the mouth antics, like just to enjoy it.
We had like 4 people watching it just to drink to the drinking games of it, of how many times they say some racist or derogatory comment.
Right.
There's a whole list of different, times you have to take a drink.
Like take a drink bingo or something with the GOP debate or something like
It was
that.
just take a drink during these different requirements that you had to match up with.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could get through it. Like I was not even going to watch it until like 2 people it was 3 other people in my house, brother and 2 of his friends that were like, we're going to play the GOP drinking game. Do you want to join in? And I'm like, well, when you put it that way, I guess, because I only did it when I looked at some of the list for the stuff. Like, it was just, wow. No, that's not going to.
It was so accurate.
And it was so accurate.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. For those of you who are just curious, just Google GOP drinking game. I'm sure you'll find it. But yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. I avoided Twitter for that. I'm pretty sure I was either playing Portal 2 Petty Co-op with Zumoro, our web developer, or I was just watching a movie. But I remember specifically avoiding Twitter because Twitter would not shut up about it.
Yeah.
But I know my entire family was watching it, just purely for the lulz. I mean, I could hear them like in the other room just laughing as they watched it. It was, yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Because they treat the presidency of the United States as a sitcom. That's
Pretty
where
much.
it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
The next president of our country, if ever was a Republican.
We'll see.
But every debate, I think that's my biggest problem.
That's the scariest thing is like when we went out to eat recently, I remember asking, I was like, could someone even run for like a major political race anymore that doesn't, like, for an example, support LGBT rights? Like, is that even possible anymore?
They try.
And the one reason it's still possible is because people like us don't vote. It's all the whiny old people who go and vote and not like progressive people. So that's actually a huge problem.
Because we're swing voters. But at the same time...
No, we're not swing voters. We just don't vote.
Well, we're the... I don't know. We're the outlying vote that actually does cost them votes because of the fact that we're...
That's true. That's very true. But
at the same time, votes don't really even matter because of the Electoral College. I mean, they do. They do greatly.
Yeah,
more so matter on a small...
Like, they don't matter here. The only reason to go voting here is... This is kind of weird that we're talking about politics on FurCast. But the only reason to vote is, honestly, so you can choose local politicians, not really the president. Because, like, it doesn't matter who... Like, New York State always goes...
It does, but at the same time, we're not really a swing state. So New York is always going to go Democrat. It's not going to choose Republican, so...
Except for local, like, Senate and all that stuff. But
I didn't know that Mickey Mouse got like a 0.1 per, like a 1%. I think it was like a marginal size of the votes every year for president.
Really?
I did not know that.
Mickey Mouse?
People write just Mickey Mouse on the ballots and put like to put them in.
And it gets 1%.
It's a significant amount. Like that's a lot
See,
of people.
I always figured like, why Mickey Mouse? Why not like? I'm trying to think of who else would be super popular like that. Like Oprah Winfrey. A lot of people have to write down Oprah Winfrey for president.
I think it's just like Mickey Mouse is just an ongoing. I think it was just a trend that happened. I don't know.
That's so weird.
I know. That is really weird.
Wow. Whenever I think of like voting ballots, all I think of is this picture that my friend Jesse sent to me of this like DOCSIS modem that's just hanging from a ceiling with like a bunch of Ethernet cables running into like this fucking 10 base T switch, and they're all connected to all these different machines for the voting. He sent it to me like a year or two ago when he was at some voting thing, and it was bad. Yeah, ballot boxes are much. Anyway, we should probably stop. Oh yeah. You got that. So Pharaoh brought over wheat thins, and we've been eating them, and we almost finished a whole box of them, and then he pulls out these.
I love these. This is my childhood. How do you not know of these?
You're such a fox.
I didn't even put the fox thing to it, but I fucking love chicken in a basket.
You're such a fox.
I don't notice. I just do fox things without realizing.
Why do you have chicken crackers?
Because they're
work?
delicious.
How are they chicken
I used to
flavored?
eat chicken crackers all the time.
But what is...
It's a chicken flavored cracker.
Why?
Have you had one?
No.
You gotta have a chicken flavored cracker.
Oh, you're such a fox.
No, I mean seriously. How have you never had a chicken flavored cracker?
Okay.
Let me just.
A cock flavored cracker?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go that route, you can go that route.
We can go that route.
Yeah, you can go that route.
They're cock flavored.
Oh, there we go.
It's literally a box of just crunchy cock. I just ruined it for you.
A box of crunchy cock. Yeah. No, stop. Stop talking. Just let me open the bag.
Okay.
Before you ruin my life.
What if I just eat one of these and I'm like completely disgusted by it and I just throw it everywhere?
I would laugh too.
I like how you can't get it open
with fox proof right now.
With your paws. They're like, oh man, we don't want the foxes getting at this, so we're just gonna make it so they can't open it with their paws. Okay, what the fuck? It's like, it almost smells like the wheat thin things. Mm. How is this even chicken flavored?
I don't know, but it's really good.
Whoa. Whoa, that aftertaste. Okay, so the aftertaste is like, you know that... Okay, you guys know ramen noodles, like the chicken flavoring packet, the bouillon that comes with ramen noodles? It is basically like they put some of that on the inside of the cracker. That's what this tastes like.
How have you never had chicken in a basket?
Because I just never have.
It's by, I think, Nabisco. It's legit brand level shit.
All right, well, enjoy your crunchy cocks.
Oh God, I used to be able to eat this, like a whole box of these. There is so much sodium in though. You could tell. You could tell. And taste
yeah. Like it's
the
all over
amount
my fingers.
of like.
There's so much. They're advertising
sodium, 240 milligrams, 10% of your daily intake.
Oh my God. And 12 crackers, servings per container, about 7. Wow.
When I was a child, I eat the whole box by myself. I can't even imagine how many.
So you could get 70% of your daily value.
Of salt.
Salt.
Well, I mean, substitution, I guess.
Yeah.
That wasn't a normal fox, so I got fox crackers and salt.
Instead of getting salt the right way, the right way for foxes, you got it through fucking chicken flavored crackers. You are ridiculous.
It's a blue box, too.
God damn it! I didn't even notice that. It's a fuck. The box is blue. I'm done with you. I don't even want to. No. God. Okay. You wanna start with a news article? I'll get the news stuff ready. Oh, I actually just realized I never pushed the metadata that said we were starting with the show, so let me just do that right now.
Again, like how I say things, I didn't really even notice that this box has been blue my whole life until we just talked about it right now. Like, I don't know, I just see blue and just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get that. I just like normally, like my brain tends to sway towards blue all the time.
Yeah, we get it.
And chicken.
You're racist against everything that isn't blue.
Is that really racist?
I don't know.
Is colors a race? I mean, color can be a race, but...
I like how you're wearing a blue shirt, too.
Am I?
Well, it's got blue in it. It's like a white and blue.
Again, like I say, people, they tell me I'm wearing something blue or notice something blue.
You have a blue mouse. You have blue all along the shock mount of your microphone. You've got blue LEDs on your computer. And I'm guessing something in your computer's blue, most likely. Oh, your background is blue. So, yeah. This guy. Yeah.
I'm blue.
No. Anyway, you want to pull up an article? And then we can get going with newsy type stuff and things. And it reminds me of Sexy Phil on YouTube. Newsy type stuff and things that matter to me today. I haven't watched that YouTube channel in a while. Did you find one that you want to open?
Yeah, I already got it.
Oh, you already got it open?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start, guys, tonight, since it's gonna be a lot of news. We have a lot of different news articles to cover. We're gonna start with kind of like some science-y stuff, and then we're gonna move into some just kind of random, maybe partially furry-related stuff, and then we've got our stupid news articles as usual for the end of the news segment that are pretty ridiculous. So we'll see.
We will see. I honestly thought I was going to sit there for a long time until you actually cued the music, because like you were just staring at me and I was staring at you, and I was just waiting for the cue of the music. It just never happened, and I don't know how long you probably could have gone without me like saying something, but I probably would have sort of sat there and stared at you for like a good 2 minutes before I finally probably would have said something. I was just kind of thinking the random amount of time that I would have taken to notice that you weren't playing the cue music. Hi.
How's it going?
Good. Get an article. Plants use neurotransmitters to signal stress. We don't want to alarm any vegetarians, and there's no reason to think plants have feelings. Still, they are more like us than we knew. Using important neurotransmitters to signal environmental stress, the discovery has profound implications from crop science to understanding the way certain drugs operate in plants. We've known for a long time that animal neurotransmissions, GABA, G-A-B-A, gamma aminobutyric acid, is produced by plants under stress. For example, when they encounter a drought, salinity, viruses, acidic soil, or extreme temperatures. However, we thought to have purely a metabolic role. Metabolism.
Okay, so I thought that these chemicals
Only
affected...
the metabolism
Were
of
only
the
for the
plant.
metabolism, okay.
Yes. With its production being a way for plants to cope with the stress better, rather than being a signaling mechanism. However, a team from Gilliam showed that the GABA provides signal instructions for a protein in the membranes of the plant cell to alter their electrical conductivity, preventing the passage of negatively charged ions from each cell to the outside of them.
Wow. That's pretty
So
sciencey.
plants have a neural network.
Okay. Plants have emotions.
They say they don't. Ones that they do.
Well, we don't really have any way of proving that.
We don't.
No, we don't.
I'm trying to think of like what would a plant brain be.
No, I'm just reminded of the one episode of Goosebumps with all the plants in the basement.
Oh, and like the guy cuts himself at the plant and then he like, becomes plant.
Yeah, or something
Plant
like
man.
that. No, it was like the one plant like disguised itself as the father or something like that.
So the father was genetically manipulating plants so they would talk to them, so then he could hear the plants and talk with the plants. But then he cut himself on a plant, and the plant kind of like bled into him, and then like his blood infected another plant. So then the other plant then morphed into him.
Yeah,
and then there was two of them.
Yeah.
But the father was still infected by the blood of the plant. So the father was actually now half plant, and the real plant was now full father. And then Goosebumps.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that little summary right there. Thanks for the spoiler, by the way.
Well, if you're going to go out and watch a Goosebump movie, I'm sorry that I spoiled it for you. I'm sorry I spoiled something that came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. Goosebumps was, that was a pretty creepy episode, too.
I just remember of creepy crawlers. Creepy crawlers. I used to make a lot of them.
Oh, yeah?
Irrespective of origins, the authors believe the discovery opens up new ways to advance in crop management. The major stresses agricultural crops face, like pathogens and poor environmental conditions, amount for the yielding losses around the planet, and consequential vary food shortages across the globe. By identifying how plants use GABA as a stress signal, we have a new tool to help global efforts to breed more stress-resilient crops to fight off food insecurity. While wild plants have evolved in response to stress over millions of years, presumably with evolutionary benefits, the crops we rely on are different. Our crops have been domesticated over time and bred to do very well in all kinds of conditions.
Domesticated plants. That is actually a thing, I just realized.
I love my plants domesticated. I like to steal wild plants and try to raise them as my own. Sometimes I just go out in the woods and steal a tree. Mother Nature won't know.
You're ridiculous.
And then I grow the...
What?
I want to grow plants in weird places.
What? How would this work?
Like, put a pot of soil on top of my roof and then just plant a tree there.
Wow.
Which would probably destroy your entire roof, but it'd be fucking cool.
Well, we have this tree in our backyard. It's a I forget, is it a maple tree that does this? But it's got like the little propeller leaves.
I hate the propeller leaves.
Yeah, the fucking, and we actually came up with a term for that on the previous FurCast episode. It was like propeller sperm or whatever, or like helicopter sperm or something like that.
Helicopter sperm.
But anyway, this tree is like, man, this tree must be horny as shit because when.
This tree is horny as shit, is what you're telling me.
Okay, so at the beginning of summer, our deck, like our back deck of this house, will be like half a foot deep of nothing but like those little propeller leaf seeds. It's ridiculous. And because there's so many of them that blow all around, you'll just go out into our backyard, look up at the house, and you'll notice that in all of the gutters that line the roof, there's trees growing in all of the gutters along the roof, so we have to clean the whole thing out. We killed all of its babies.
Gutter trees.
But it's like ridiculous. The amount of weeding we have to do. Like, there'll just be more maple trees everywhere. This tree is just horny as ever. It's crazy.
If we can study the ways they respond to stress, we may find out how to help them and adapt better to the bad weather or salty environments. So salty. The fact that such different branches of the tree of life have put GABA to the use demonstrates its value in the signaling transmitter. Gilham told IFL Science that this is probably because it can be released so rapidly. Insects can walk across the leaf and the GABA concentration will increase in seconds, he said, in plants. So plants can actually tell as soon as you touch a leaf.
That's, wow. Well, we know that because there are some plants that will react to it and stuff. They'll actually like move and stuff like that. Reactive plants, which are pretty cool.
Well, all plants are kind of reactive.
Yeah.
They function at a different wavelength of time.
That's some Doctor Who shit right there.
Well, did you ever see when they like rapidly, like fast, like plant life, and it starts moving around and like going back and forth?
Yeah.
That creeps me out. Like, what happens if they're like just on a different plane of time?
I don't know.
So like right now we're in this realm of the time spectrum, but imagine if our lives slowed down so much so that it was like 1/3 speed. We'd still be playing at normal speed for us.
I feel like all different types of plants would run at different speeds. Though, like I feel like trees would be at a completely different speed than most plants.
Is time the speed, or is it like just in general?
Like time, as in there would be a whole different
because they
scale.
can be on the same
like
scale.
I feel like trees are way slower than like a little plant, like a little tulip or something.
Maybe, or maybe just the life cycle goes a lot longer.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know.
If you like slowed down time, would plants be faster? Would they know more? Could you talk with them?
I don't know. You keep looking at me like I'm supposed to have the answer to your questions.
Sometimes you should. You're a wolf. You live in the woods. Don't you speak with the trees?
No.
Thought you were an animal.
Thought you were an animal.
I lost my touch.
Started buying blue boxes of chicken crackers.
Synthetic chicken. Couldn't even get the real stuff.
Synthetic chicken. You are literally exactly what a fox would do in that situation.
What do you mean?
Getting synthetic chicken crackers. I don't know. Ah, my
That's
God.
what foxes do when they go to like... I don't even know.
All right, so this is an interesting article that came across The Verge this week. India turns porn back on. That's the headline.
It was off?
India turns porn back on. So apparently, yeah, that's a thing. And it's kind of funny, the image that they have for the top of this article is just a Google image search where someone just typed in porn. That's just sitting in the search bar. India is partially lifting a ban on more than 800 pornographic websites less than a week after its order to block the sites sparked widespread outcry. Government officials announced the reversal on Tuesday after meeting with the country's internet service providers. Only sites that contain child pornography will be banned. Okay, why would websites with child pornography not be banned, like as opposed to not banning that kind of thing? It's just it's ridiculous. The government said, adding that ISPs will be responsible for policing their content. Child pornography is already being banned under Indian law, again, as opposed to it not being banned. A new notification will be issued shortly, Information Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad told India Today TV. The ban will be partially withdrawn. Sites that do not promote child porn will be unbanned. Okay, why do they keep mentioning that, like... Is this like a problem in India or something? Like, do they have to keep mentioning that?
I don't know. I don't really look at too much Indian porn.
In an order issued on July 31st, India's communication ministry told ISPs to block access to 857 websites deemed to be immoral and indecent. The list of adult websites was first proposed by lawyer Kamalesh Vaswani, who has petitioned the Supreme Court to block them on the grounds that the online pornography would encourage violence against women and moral corruption. The Supreme Court declined and issued a ban, stating that it would violate personal freedoms, though a judge later criticized the government for not doing more to police child pornography. Sites like Pornhub and YouPorn were blocked over the weekend, with Indian web users expressing outrage and accusations of Talibanization on social media. The government later acknowledged that the ban was temporary and could be easily circumvented with virtual private networks. Okay, so I like how the government immediately was just like, yeah, we fucked up. Like, pretty much. Like, not only did they say that it was a temporary ban and could be easily circumvented, but then they even mention how it could be circumvented. That's great. Public criticism seems to have spurred the government's about face, though Indian ISPs remained concerned over the intervention, arguing that they shouldn't be responsible for policing child pornography online. How can the government put responsibility on us to see whether a website carries child pornography or not? Rajaya, I'm not going to try to pronounce that last name, president of the Internet Service Providers Association of India, tells the Times of India. Why should an internet service provider be punished if a website suddenly transmits? Okay, they're like obsessed with just like, oh my god, we got to ban the child pornography. I don't see how blocking YouPorn and Pornhub is gonna solve that problem. That's a whole different issue. Hate to tell you guys, but anyway, so there's that. Oh man, so many articles tonight. So many. I'm trying to think of what I want to do next.
So, speaking of porn, The Beast. La Bête. A film.
So is this a movie review?
This is a movie review.
So it's a movie review. Okay.
From Objective Species.
Okay.
Adjective Species, sorry. And
it's so easy to call it Objective Species rather than Adjective Species for some reason, even though the word is adjective at the top.
Adjective Species.
Anyway. So here's my question. Why is this not on their like pornographic or like NSFW blog?
Because it's not necessarily porn.
Okay.
It's just film that's very sexual.
The picture looks it.
The Beast, or La Bête, is comfortably the most pornographic non-porn film I have ever seen.
I love that. That's such a great way to put that.
The plot of the entire movie can be summed up as an extended dream sequence in which a woman is having sex with a monster. Plus, barely enough filter to make the whole thing a vague sense. You may decide that description is enough for you to seek out the beast. It was for me. However, I caution you that will end with more than you bargained for. So they give a whole review on. I never even heard of this. I just find it funny. We should actually just watch it in the studio and just review it.
Review it. Do it live so we don't know what to expect or something.
It looks like a gigantic ape man. Like, well, what I do see, and just like a naked woman, and then just booty.
I'm not sure what's going on in this picture, but yeah. So okay. Yeah.
It's pretty funny, though. I watched The Beast a couple of weeks ago. Since then, I have spent most of my time trying not to think about it.
What is it? Is this like a horror film?
It just reminds me of us watching the one movie. It was Creature. I remember because I used to have Blockbuster Movie Pass.
Right.
Back when Blockbuster was a thing. And I would always like rent normal like actual movies, and then when I watched the new movies that were released, I'd go and just try to find the most bizarre movies I could find and just rent a bunch of B movies.
Right.
And then we'd have movie nights of B movies, and everyone would bring their B movies, and we rented one, and I still think it was the funniest one that we rented because it was honestly the most ridiculous movie ever.
Right.
And we have so many quotes from it. It was like with all local furs here. And the creature is like these kids get lost in a swamp area. But the movie starts off with just full frontal nudity of a woman jumping into a swamp.
Okay.
And it went on for a while. And everyone was like, Pharaoh, what the fuck? Pharaoh, what are you making us watch? This wasn't porn night. And I was like, I didn't even know. I was like, this is not in any of the previews. So it's like a 5-minute, like just naked scene in the beginning of the movie, which has no correlation to anything else in the movie. Because she gets eaten by an alligator, and that is the last of that. So the whole 5-minute first intro scene has nothing.
There's no metaphor in it?
There's nothing. There's no reference to the monster. She just gets eaten by an alligator swimming naked in a swamp.
Okay.
There's no mention of it later on. There's no mention of why this happened. There's just 5 minutes of nudity.
Okay.
Probably because...
What movie is this?
Creature.
Okay.
There will be spoilers.
Okay. So spoiler alert for anybody who gives a shit.
Spoilers of this movie. Well, I'm just going to go... The kids get lost in like backwoods or something because they're traveling somewhere. Of course, like that's how all horror movies start. And I'm not even reviewing this beast thing. I'm just reviewing like the
you're
movie
just telling your own thing here.
My own story here.
All right. Yeah.
But there's like a black guy, there's like 2 white guys and 2 chicks, and they reach this like hick store, like general store. And this is one of our quotes that we still use to this day. Like they're in there, and then all of a sudden this like raggedy old man comes in. And they're like, you get out of here. Jeffrey, get out. You get out now. And he's like, no. And he goes, no, you get out. No. And he just starts screaming. And then he just starts stealing shit. He's like, no. No. And he starts grabbing the shit off the counters and everything.
Right.
Oh, sorry. Turn on your...
Yeah, you turn on my headphones really loud.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
It's okay.
No.
Okay, so anyway.
Long story short, everyone gets killed by the monster in like... No, not everyone gets killed by the monster. Everyone gets killed by the monster in like one hit. The monster is like KO over 9,000 power level.
Okay.
However, the black guy can take it. The only one.
I'm trying to look up this movie, Creature.
But the best part of the film, the part that we got us laughing so hard, is the black guy kills more people than the creature did.
Well, okay, so there's a 1985 film and then there's a 2011 film.
It's the 2011 film.
It's the 2011. There's also Creature 3D. I love how. Okay, wait a minute. I'm just gonna go back. So there's 2 IMDb results, right, guys? One's for the 1985 movie, one's for the 2011 movie. Both of them have terrible ratings. Like, not one of them, or not like, the remake had bad ratings. Both of them have terrible ratings. Anyway, let me click the 2011 here, and we'll see.
What's funny too is the lead actor was a porn star, so probably why the first scene just had like...
Critical reception for the film has been overwhelmingly negative. Rotten Tomatoes, a review aggregator, reports that 11% of 28% survey critics gave the film a positive review, with an average rating of 2.9 out of 10. 2.9 out of 10. It's ridiculous. This is like...
Is this the right one though? I just want to make sure.
This is the right one. That's what the DVD cover looked like.
I'm not sure what the DVD cover looked like, because I went it off of the Bayou.
It came out in September.
Legend. Yep, that's the one.
September 9.
That is the one. That's Creature. I didn't know that was released in theaters.
I don't know.
We never watched the old version. We just watched the new one, the remake. No, we just thought it was funny because the black guy literally, like, that became a joke for us because the black guy just... Spoiler. There's just a hick outside of a building. He's done nothing wrong. You don't know that he's a bad guy. He's just sitting there smoking a cigarette. The black guy comes running out of the woods, punches him in the face. Well, as he falls down, snaps his neck with his foot and just continues running.
You know what this sounds like to me is, Scary Movie? Those parody films?
But it was not. There's no part of it that's parody at all. It is completely serious.
It's just a terrible horror film that somebody gave way too much money to.
But a lot of money went into it. Oh my god. So if you're looking for a...
I love how the description on Wikipedia says it made headlines for its low gross. It's ridiculous. Budget, $3 million. Box office, $500,000.
Wow. They spent $3 million on that movie. That is sad.
Anyway,
maybe that's why they edited it. They just made the nudity in the beginning. Just like, someone watch, please. We put boobs. Anyway, back to The Beast, which I have not seen, but there is a review of this. Before I dive into specifics, I'll add that I watched The Beast following a 3 a.m. alarm call that morning, and immediately following the London Furs boat party. I was tired and drunk, and most of the furries were joining me. I can't say that even in my emotionally deadened state, I found The Beast to be genuinely shocking in its content and explicitness. And I know I speak for grown-ups, hardened, seen it all before furries around me. So, there you have it. Caveat emptor. Yet I can't help but think I've encouraged more people than I have deterred to watch this film.
Probably. I mean, let's be honest.
Here's the blurb from the back of my DVD. Bestial dreams interrupt the venial plans of a French aristocrat attempting to save a crumbling mansion by marrying off his deformed son to a horny American heiress.
That's the back of the DVD?
That's the back of the DVD.
What the fuck?
Wow, I really need to watch that. I just want to watch this movie just to be scarred by this movie. I'm ready for some scars.
Just to see how bad it is.
I haven't had mental scars in a while.
Yeah, I haven't either.
There's a vague threat that our aristocrat will lose his mansion unless his son marries some nominated American by such and such date, and a handful of cardinal joys. There is an attempt at suspense at whether the cardinal turns up in time. Spoiler, he does. But it's boring and no one cares, and it serves no plot to the movie.
Amazing.
So it's a ponderous and actually rather boring race against time, like Speed, with the bus. Was it you can't go like below 45 miles an hour or something like that?
I don't remember.
This bus can't go over. So I should have continued the rest of that sentence because it gets really good. So actually, the movie is like a rather boring race against time, like Speed, interspersed with lots of animal genitalia, unlike Speed.
Oh man.
Wiener, wiener, wiener.
Unlike Speed.
I love that little quote, unlike Speed. Like there's a Speed edit out there that just has tons of animal dicks everywhere.
Reminds me of the horsecock mod for Skyrim.
The orgy on this bus can't go under 3 people. Continue.
I don't even know.
Well, I went really furry and sexual with it. Yeah, like Speed Bus. Would furries ride a bus?
That'd be pretty bad. I wouldn't want to do that.
I feel like it'd be inside of that, like My Neighbor Totoro's bus. It's like half a
I'm trying to
cat
figure out if that'd be better or worse than a typical Greyhound bus is normally.
riding in the cat.
What?
Riding in the cat.
No, I mean just like a bunch of furries in a bus. Would that situation end up better or worse than a Greyhound bus is normally?
Is the bus furry?
No. There's just like tons of furries on the bus.
Like I was picturing the bus from what was it, the Miyazaki film where it's like the cat that it's like opens up and it's like got windows on the side of it.
What? What movies do you watch?
It's a Miyazaki film.
Okay.
You've never seen the cat bus?
No, I've never seen the cat bus. Anyway, finish this review.
I think it's My Neighbor Totoro. On arrival, our Harris stumbles upon a mating pair of horses. The horse sex is short and very explicit, and foreshadows what's to come. Ha.
I get it.
I just stopped there because I'm immature. It doesn't say that. It just says what's to come. And it also represents the filmmaker's opening gambit, in which I think was an attempt to walk as close as possible to the line where the film would be outright banned. Can show an erect can't show an erect human penis? Well then, viewer, enjoy ejaculating horse penis in super ultra up close slow motion.
Really?
I like how that's the film director's like he's just angry. Like so angry that he can't show an erect human penis. So he's like, fine, you know what? I'm gonna show every penis out there.
Enjoy this.
Yeah, there's some horse dick. Yeah, there's some dogs fucking. How do you like that? Can't censor me now, can ya? That's what's going through my mind.
He's just an angry director.
Just so angry because all he wanted to do was just show an erect penis for like 3 seconds.
And I didn't know that you can't show I'm just trying to think. Like,
even Game of Thrones. I don't think. Is there an erect penis in Game of Thrones? I don't think there was ever an erect penis.
There's an unerect dick in Sense8, but Sense8's on Netflix.
I don't think you can show an erect penis
I know you can, but you can't on maybe network television or like
network. I don't think you could show ass on. You're lucky to show ass on network television.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what
in
the
a
rules
movie,
are.
I feel like you can't show an erect penis in a movie.
I think you can. I just think it's beyond.
Search. We don't have our Google dog here.
All right. Can you show an erect penis in a rated R? Let's see. Why is it okay to show a penis in an R movie and not a vagina? Answers.yahoo.com. Oh my god. Why wasn't The Wolf of Wall Street NC-17? I mean, I saw No, so you can see... okay, so you can see erect penises in rated R. Can you show an erect penis? HBO.
So you can show an erect penis.
Yeah, so you can show an erect dick. Well, where was this film made, though? What country?
It looks like France.
Oh, France? Yeah, I don't know what the rules are in France.
I feel like out of any country you would see an erect penis in France.
College humor. HBO should show some penises. The Dong Show. 10 penises featured on HBO. Guys, don't Google this. Just don't Google it.
This is why we have CJ here. To save us from these results.
All right, anyway, can finish this thing.
Oh, well. If you spend any time on a farm, you've seen it all before, although you may not be surprised at the attention to detail in the cinematography and editing they used to portray every scene. As my friend said to me the next day, I didn't sleep much last night. When I closed my eyes, all I could see was pulsating animal vagina. I don't want to watch this movie anymore. I'm done with this movie. I don't want to watch it. I'm glad I read the review. Because I don't want to watch it. Finally, after all the irrelevant horse-bit action and casual reviews of the photos of the regular basis of the rest of the film, at this point we finally spend some time with the human characters.
I just imagine the movie's like 5 minutes of human character development, and then just 40 minutes of just random clips of like. Well, now that you sat through that.
Oh my god, now I understand why the beginning opening quote. This was the most uncomfortably pornographic non-porn film I have ever seen. Oh my god.
What is this movie called again?
The Beast.
The Beast, okay.
It's La Bête. L-A space B-E-T-E.
Yeah, which is probably wrongly pronounced, but it's basically The Beast, but in French.
La Bête. La Bête.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't speak French. Sorry, French people out there. Wow, this goes into so much detail. I just don't feel like reading this much detail.
You want to skip over that?
No, there's a lot of just detail that's just wow. The entire film is only 98 minutes long.
Oh, so it's not that long.
But each of the scarring sections feels so much longer. Remarkably so, it managed to be very boring despite the regular nudity and sex, and some very, really unpleasant and shocking moments. Example 1. 2 of the hotel staff have furniture sex? Furtive.
Alright, I don't know.
Some occasions, well. Oh, that's really awkward.
I love how you're just barely reading. Okay, wait, do we want to move on, or what do we want to do here?
Wow, this movie was like, let's push the bar. We're doing it. Well, then it's French, so I mean that makes just sense to me. Just French people.
Because I mean, I'm just thinking of like. I don't know. I mean, they pushed the bar in a lot of shows. I mean, like Sense8, they showed like actual like full on childbirth, like no CG or anything. It was like actual childbirth that was on the show.
They continue. I can never recall ever seeing a film with so much semen. Okay. The only contender of any film I have ever known to exist with this much semen could be Freddy Got Fingered, in which I recall ends with Rip Torn being bathed in elephant cum. Impressive, sure.
What the fuck videos do people... Okay, this is ridiculous.
You've never seen Freddy Got Fingered?
No, I've never seen it.
It was like Tom Green.
I've never seen it.
It's an old 90s movie.
Okay, well, I don't think I want to see it.
Someone jerks off an elephant and it shoots a guy in the face.
Okay.
I think. I'd never recall. That's
okay. Can we move on to...
Well, I was like, oh, yeah, this is scarring. The Beast is scarring. Oh, I want to watch this movie. There's only one movie that I can think of that was so terrifyingly scarring. And I think it was a French film. I honestly think it was a French film, too. Wow.
The only French movie I've ever seen is Mr. Nobody.
Because I remember when I was like, this was like when we had movie nights, my friend was like one of the people that were like high critiquing of films.
Right.
And he had this French film and he was like, we're going to watch this French film. And I was like, I don't want to watch this French film. I don't want to read subtitles the whole time. right at this
Right.
time.
That was at a time where that wasn't. Yeah.
And no, I watched.
I can't tell you how many foreign films I watch now.
But all I remember, it was like, it was just fucked up. It was just really, like, we finished that movie and I just stood there and I was like, that's fucked up. And we like all just looked at each other and we were like, what happened? Why?
Okay.
And we're like, I recall something of us being like, we will never speak of this movie again. Ever.
I'm trying to think of the most disturbing movie I've seen. I think the most disturbing movie I've seen was
I think it was just like heart-wrenching of like
Never Let Me Go, I think was probably a
like
really
people just being killed, but then like a girl going back to like her mother, and then her mother just slitting her throat in front of the girl, and like it was just
Oh my god.
But you saw everything, and I was just like, oh my god. And then like the girl like calling to her dead mother for like 3 days.
I mean, I've seen some really intense movies. Like one,
it was intense.
Like Princess and the Warrior was very intense. Like, you know, it was the kind of thing where when there was like a car accident in like one section of the movie, you see everything. Like they were just very, you know, but it wasn't.
I'm just bringing back scarring memories of watching that movie.
Yeah. Can we move on to not scarring things?
I need to ask my friend what movie that was, because literally we like finished that movie and we're like, it was so traumatizing to us,
right,
that I think we suppressed the memory of watching that movie. Like I am not joking. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the movie. I just remember like a few scenes, like, but they're like clouded over. Like, did I actually watch that, or is that a dream?
Was it Felida or Felide maybe? But that's a German film, somebody's saying in chat.
I remember there was a railroad at some point. I remember there was like someone who was like mentally challenged. I remember there was a girl, there was an abusive father, I think. And that's all I can remember. Like, you're trying to piece back a scarring memory, and you remember bits and pieces of it, but you don't remember the bad parts.
Right.
You just remember like the parts that weren't scarring enough. Like, that's how bad this movie was for me. I think for all of us.
It's pretty great.
It was not. It was just, I feel like it was just so emotionally terrifying and detrimental to anyone's psyche that when I finished watching it, I was like, no. Just no. And I feel like this is what this beast is. This is like the new generation, just with semen everywhere, and I don't want any part of it.
Well, if you guys want to read the rest of the review, you can go to adjectivespecies.com and check that out. It's latest post as of this episode, and I'm sure we'll have the link in our show notes. But all right, I'm going to move on to this article, I think.
Can I add one last thing?
Okay, go ahead.
I guess the beast is to teach a lesson that men are in danger, or perhaps civilization itself is in danger when we succumb to our beastly desires. That's what the movie's moral is. Or what they think the moral is.
That's funny. Oh, man. All right, so let me just get some more music in here. So Cracked.com did an article, of course, because that's what Cracked does. They do articles. And this one, 6 sexual identities everyone still thinks it's okay to mock.
Furry.
Number 6 is virgins. I'm going to skip number 5 for now. And let's see. Let's go to number 4. We'll just go all the way down the list. Number 4 is masturbation with tools.
All I can think of is like...
what?
Like tools. Like actual tools. Like, oh, that hammer is so sexy.
What's funny is they actually have a hammer in the stock photo above that part of the article. They have a hammer. Number 3 is old people. Number 2 is fat people. And number 1 is trans anything. Crack.com claims that these are 6 sexual identities that everyone thinks it's still okay to mock. But number 5, let's go back to number 5. Furries. Not all furries are interested in dressing up as anthropomorphized animals and having sex with each other, but that's what they're famous for. Which sounds weird as hell until you realize that they're not really harming anybody else. And you're putting more work into pleasing their partners than some people are into their wedding night. I really like that. Did you ever think about that? How much effort furries put into like making each other feel good?
Feel
essentially.
Good. Shake, 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 feel good.
Having sex in full-body fursuit? Forget merely having sex. That's more exercise than I've done in my life. If there's ever an internet Olympics, hedgehog humping will be a greater endurance test than hapathlon. I don't know what they're trying to say there. And have many, many more viewers. Furries have been the internet punching bag ever since people realized bigotry was bad, but still wanted to make fun of strangers. Obviously, it's much better to blame people for something that they choose to do. But when that thing doesn't actually harm anybody else, it's only their offense is doing something that you don't enjoy. Mocking them still makes you kind of an asshole. Luckily, we now a volunteer group working to publicly be bigoted assholes in a way that actively hurts others, so we can all focus on our mockery. We can all focus our mockery on them. What's more, dressing up as an animal. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm reading this terribly. What's more, dressing up as animals is a brilliant shortcut past modern society's bullshit body-shaming beauty standards. Let me repeat that. What's more, dressing up as animals is a brilliant shortcut past modern society's bullshit body-shaming beauty standards. The advertising industry spends billions of dollars convincing every human alive to be unhappy in the skin they're in. So furries art and craft new skins. Skins made of silk and the shape of a centaur. Let's see you sell that in a jar, assholes. They've short-circuited the entire body image industry and crossed it with a fantasy novel using imaginary characters to counter advertising, makes them into the Banksies of boning. This doesn't mean that every furry is fine. Individually, anybody can be an asshole, and any activity where people can cover their faces before trying to grope people is going to attract them. It's every community's job to call out the harassers and warn everybody else instead of keeping things quiet because they've done a lot for the scene. But considering that even the Catholic Church and the 80s American family comedies couldn't manage that, furries shouldn't be singled out. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. So thank you to Crack.com for writing an article about that. Furries are one of 6 sexual groups who shouldn't be sexual punching bags of the internet anymore.
But that's still classifying furry as a sexual group.
Well, they even said in the top that, it's not like, it's not even all of them anyway, but still. Furry, you should read this one.
Which, you know what we got to play for our break?
What?
Is I put it underneath the beast, and it was an American Dad's sing-along thing that include furries as well.
Oh, okay. I don't see it under the beast. I might want to refresh or I'll refresh my my Google Doc just in case there's something wrong there. But yeah, I'm not seeing it. Wait for you to refresh.
In my Google Doc.
Maybe your Google Doc died. I don't know. Anyway,
my Google Doc died.
Well, anyway, scroll down to the bottom and get that one article.
No, mine's still there.
Okay. All right, I'll scroll down. Maybe it saved when you refreshed it or something. Anyway.
Where is this one?
It's all the way at the bottom, or near the very bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I see it.
There it is.
I shall read it. Speaking of beasts. Speaking of beasts. A man dressed as a lizard, or known as Lizard Man, quote unquote, is terrorizing a South Carolinian town.
There's a picture of this guy in this lizard suit, and it looks like he's just like, okay, you guys know like the haters gonna hate meme? Like, you know that, and it's just like, haters gonna hate, and it's like, the marching, like, don't give a shit, marching away.
Don't give a shit.
Yep. And it's just like, and then it's haters gonna hate, or whatever. It is that exact pose, but this guy in the lizard suit, and it's like some really crappy picture. It looks like it's from a security camera or something like that, of this guy just in somebody's backyard. That suit's really cool. That's a really cool suit.
Okay. The Lizard Man of Scape or Swamp was first spotted in Lee County, South Carolina in 1988. You know what's funny? I wonder if this is related to the creature.
What do you mean?
It's 1988.
Right.
When did the Creatures film come out? It was in a Carolina swamp. There was a lizard creature in the creature.
I don't know.
When 17-year-old Christopher Davis saw something racing towards him while he was changing a flat tire, it was about 25 yards away, and I saw them red glowing eyes. You see it? Gotta go here with the sound in a second.
Hold on. Trying to figure out what he would sound like. Here, I got some music for you. I got our usual. Oops.
I ran into the car, and as I locked it, the door thing grabbed my door handle. Davis got away, but so did the creature, who was described as having 3 big fingers and long nails and a green, rough skin.
Because it's surely not a guy in a suit.
He's got rough skin.
He's got rough skin.
There have been many other instances with Lizard Man since, as well as a book, Lizard Man, The True Story of the Bishopville Monster, and an episode of Destination Truth, including a woman this weekend, Sarah, who, my hand to God, I am not making this up, told ABC News that she stepped out of church to see the lizard man running along the tree line under the woods.
Nice. This is literally like a Sasquatch kind of thing. No, I mean, it's definitely real.
She took the photo above.
Okay.
She took that
So that's the woman who took that photo. Okay.
This looks like a close-up of like she was standing 10 feet away. There it goes! It's like here to the end of the wall.
Maybe she was in on it. I don't know. By the way, here's the image. By the way, I'm just showing it on the video feed. So you guys see what I mean by like the haters gonna hate stance? Like, doesn't that look like? I mean, come on.
She took the photo above, which is either proof that lizard people actually walk among us, the Republican Party,
The Republican Party.
or a screen cap from Godzilla versus South Carolina racism versus Mechagodzilla 2. A day later, another concerned resident submitted a video of Lizard Man that he filmed in May. Quote unquote. I saw you damn that there Lizard Man story, and it gave me the courage to send you the video I took nearly a make. The man wrote. Though my wife believes me that it's real, she said that it would be embarrassing that everyone would think that I was alone, so I kept the video secret until now.
Ah.
Lizardman.mp4.
It's a really shitty video. It's not worth playing, I'm gonna tell you right now.
These article says it's truly shocking footage.
It's not at all. So this guy was just dressing up in a lizard suit going around and freaking people out, basically. Is that
Which one of you furries are doing it? Come on, fess up.
It's gotta be one of you.
When is the government gonna focus on the important issues of this country? Like bringing Lizard Man to justice.
So this one is pretty great. I'm just gonna use the same news music for now, guys. This article is just... I'm sorry, but
I'm still scared
I
from the
almost
beast.
put this... I almost put this article in the furry section because I feel like it's not a furry news article, but it feels like a furry news article. Let me just read the headline.
Sure it wasn't a furry? It could have been a furry.
It could have been a furry. This could be a furry. Bear downs 36 beers and passes out at a campground. That's amazing. This is, by the way, from NBC News, so we know this is legit. Baker Lake, Washington, when a fish and wildlife agents recently found a black bear passed out on the lawn of Baker Lake Resort, there were some clues scattered nearby. Dozens of empty cans of Rainier beer. The bear apparently got into the camper's coolers and used his claws and teeth to puncture the cans, and not just any cans. He drank the Rainier and wouldn't drink the Busch beer, said Lisa Broxton, bookkeeper at the campground.
He's had enough of Busch. He's a bear.
Campground and Cabins Resort near Mount Baker. Fish and Wildlife Enforcement Sergeant Bill Heineck said the bear did try one can of Busch, but ignored the rest. The beast then consumed about 36 cans of Rainier. Or Rainier? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know my beers. A wildlife agent tried to chase the bear from the campground, but the animal just climbed in a tree to sleep it off for another 4 hours. Agents finally herded the bear away, but it returned the next morning. Agents then used a large, humane trap to capture it for relocation, baiting the trap with the usual donuts, honey, and in this case, 2 open cans of Rainier. That did the trick. This is a new one on me, Hynek said. I've known them to get into cans, but nothing like this. And this bear has his preference.
Wow, Yogi Bear has really become a drunk.
Yogi Bear. But I mean, that's great. It's just it's probably a furry. It's probably a furry. Rainier. Yeah.
Yogi Bear has nothing to live for. It's not picnic baskets anymore. It's just cans of a beer.
All right. What do you say we go on break? You want to go on break?
I do. Did you see that video? Did you see the link that I posted though?
Oh yeah, I'll load it up in a bit. We gotta go on break first.
It's funny because if we do play it, I just want to say it. It was the sing along from American Dad, and I laugh my ass off because they always make fun of furries in American Dad.
They always do. Makes me wonder. I wonder if one of the staff of American Dad is a furry or something. That'd be kind of funny. Anyway,
well, furries are everywhere, so I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
You guys are listening to FurCast live on XBN. We'll be back after a quick 10 to 15 minute music break.
Very superstitious writings on the wall. Very superstitious.
You're listening.
Letters about to fall. 13-month-old baby broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck. You could think in your past. When you believe in things that you don't understand, and you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Very superstitious. Wash your face hands. Rid me of the problems. Do all that you can. Keep me in daydream. Keep me going strong. You don't want to save me. Sad is a song. When you believe in things you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way.
We are the new kids now, we are the future. We are the chosen ones, we are computers. We are computers.
You guys are listening to FurCast.
1, 2, 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3, here we go.
Trash people, no sex, a Ben Rama now. Ben Rama, trash people, no sex, a Ben Rama. Ben Rama, he's trash people, no sex, a Ben Rama now. Ben Rama, trash people, no sex, a Ben now. Trash people, no sex, a Ben Rama now. One liner, big liner, no sex, a Ben Rama. Got drunker, cheap sucker, no sex, a Ben Rama now. Cheap faker, cheap faker, looking like a poor man's off the baker now. faker, cheap faker, looking like a poor man's off the baker now. Ben Rama, big time lover, tried to snatch a kitty off his girlfriend's mother. We gotta freeze him out now, we gotta freeze him out. Oh, come on, let's go. We gotta freeze him out. I said, 1, 2, 3, freeze.
FurCast.
Oh man. You know, I gotta say, it had been like a couple, I don't want to say a couple weeks, but it had been a decent amount of time since I had recently just like turned on my hi-fi system and just blasted music. And just a few days ago, I turned on my hi-fi, 2 giant passive bi-amped floor standing speakers with a sub and everything. And I just turned it on and I just blasted some music. And I haven't even like calibrated that system recently, but it was just...
Ray's Dark Forces, you have a sexy voice.
It was amazing. It was so good to just rock out to some music. Like, I need to do that every once in a while. I have a need. And it was good. It felt very good. Oh, and the track that I rocked out to the most was probably... Oh, actually, I don't know. It was either the track that's used for the intro of FNT or an I Am Am I Who Am I track, actually. I don't know. Maybe I'll play it later. So in that case...
I'm proud of the chat room this time. I mean, usually the chat room goes a little kind of crazy, but they were like, oh, who do you think is cuter? Pharaoh Paradox. And then a lot of times that just kind of deters, like, oh, I'd so fuck them.
Yeah, but it's not.
It didn't. In the chat room, I'm proud of you today because you were actually very calm and very, normal for once.
Can you read this article? I'll actually PM it to you so you can get it quickly.
I thought you were gonna. Why didn't you play the song?
Oh shit! We never played that one track. Yeah, do you want me to leave the mics on while we play it? You want to do that?
Yeah,
we can totally do that
because it was perfect for the previous article of the craziness.
All right, so we're gonna play a video first, and here let me get rid of the lower third on FurCast. Hold on, I didn't have that graphic cue ready. Here we go. So I'm just gonna flip over to this computer and we'll hit play.
Roger, why can't she just admit she's a deviant so she can come home?
Deviant?
Yeah, she wants me to spank her in bed. It's sick.
Stan, everyone has something a little different that they like. Something a little naughty, a little kinky.
Not me.
Oh, honey, everyone has a kink. You just need to find yours. You're buttoned up and prude, not an ounce of you is crude, and your tendencies in bed leave women snoring. But if you look deep down inside and put aside your foolish pride, there are fantasies and holes that need exploring. Close your eyes and picture Francine as a French maid, instead of wearing that same dress that's sort of pink. Sure, you'd rather be on...
I love when cartoons make fun of their own, like...
But I know deep down inside you've got a kink. You've got a kink. You've got a kink. Don't be afraid to put a finger in the stink. Though I know you might
Ridiculous.
be shy, let me show you things to try. Cause like everyone you know, you've got a kink.
Triple X.
Imagine yourself living without limits. You've got whips and chains. Who needs a shrink? Cause if you watch me with the ladies, what we do won't cause no babies. Take a tip from me and go and find your kink.
You got a king.
He's got a king.
You got a king.
He's got a kink. There's so much here to see, try not to blink. So if you dig on women's feet,
Don't be afraid, turn up that heat.
cause like everybody else, you've got a kink.
Are you getting it yet?
I think I am. I love sleeping with Francine, and I'm used.
There's furries in here somewhere, right?
Wait.
Maybe time to make a change. So I'll try out something new, like when Carradine turned blue. Who am I to think my wife is sick and strange? I've got a king. I've got a king. He's got a king.
Remember what I said about the stink.
So if you like us all,
We're fine for free.
You won't be judged, we're not a jury.
Cause
Nice.
down deep inside, we've all got kinks.
we got a kink, we got a kink, we got a kink.
Yes, way down deep inside, I've got a king.
You can see the furries in the background there.
I've got to bring Francine home and let her know I've found my kink.
I'm proud of you, Stan. So which kink is it?
All of them.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
Oh my god. Vroom.
That's the second or third. Is that the second or
That's
third
like
time?
the fourth or fifth.
It's like
time.
the fourth or fifth time they've made fun of furries.
And it's always the same character models, which I love. And it's always Stan's boss.
Stan's boss is a furry. That's great. Oh man. So all right, we're gonna jump back into news articles. I PM'd you the one link. Did you open that one yet? I feel like all of the articles. Have you noticed that all of the articles we were reading tonight are all sex related?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
The other ones that I had were also sex related. All right, so while Pharaoh's loading up that news article, I just want to show you guys something real quick. It's a quick video, and I'd imagine you guys didn't miss this week. It was pretty hard to miss this.
Wait,
But-
so does Patrick Stewart actually play Stan's dad, or sorry, Stan's boss in American Dad? Because someone said that's actually Picard. So Picard is a furry.
No idea. But so for those of you who might have missed this, Tesla released a video with this like automated charging arm thing.
Creeps me out.
Yeah, there's some GIF images of this going around, or GIFs, or GIFs, whatever the fuck people want to
GIF.
call it. I call them GIFs.
I hate you.
But like, it's okay. So basically, for those of you who don't have the video feed, and for those of you who just genuinely somehow were living under a rock and just didn't see this all over social media this week, essentially, you know, the Tesla car is an electric car, right? And you have to plug it in and charge it. Well, in order to automate that process, Tesla has invented this mechanical. It's a tentacle.
No one mentioned
Like-
Doc Ock, and I'm so upset.
Like it's a tentacle. Like make no mistake. And basically, it is this mechanical tentacle that just kind of moves and finds the charging port on the car and just kind of snakes its way in and connects and
Someone said
charges the
Robo
car.
Boner and the new Next Bad Dragon sex toy.
I mean, like, it's just so weird, but it moves and it's like, there it goes, and connect. But yeah, so that's that. This is the official Tesla Motors YouTube channel, by the way, for anybody who's curious. The comments are great. Like the top comment is like, I'm wearing a butt plug while I use this, thank you very much. So anyway.
But they're still shoving a butt plug inside themselves. I guess
It is a prehensile charging cable. Sure. Okay.
prehensile charging cable.
Yeah. Yep. Now, granted, the way that arm actually works, if you actually look underneath it, there's a ton of motors with pulleys on them and stuff like that. So I don't think it was fully prehensile. I think all it was able to do is bend down and connect. But that's still pretty cool that it can bend down, locate the charging port, and then connect to it. Like, you could just kind of put it next to
Our
it.
chat room went off the deep end again.
Our chat room went off the deep end again?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Looks like a prehensile penis that charges your car.
Looks like it's already ribbed for your pleasure, says somebody in the chat room.
It goes to fox butts.
And
then
yes.
the foxes are like, where do I get one?
Oh my god. Anyway, Pharaoh, why don't you read the article that you had? You read the article that you had. Oh my god.
What article was that?
What? The article that I linked you in chat.
Oh, I didn't read that one. I didn't have that one. I have this one. It's Florida, man.
Read the other one, though. Let's get all the sex ones out of the way first. I told you multiple times that I had sent it to you.
When do you tell me to click a link in the chat? I mean, come on now.
It was a PM. It's not like it was, Anyway, all right, so let me just do the FurCast live trigger for metadata, and then we'll get news music in here. All right.
It's kind of funny that all the stories tonight ended up being about sex.
Almost all of the stories ended up being about sex, including this one, sort of. Why do you have your hands out?
Tantalizing.
Tantalizing?
I don't know. I honestly can't explain. I just talk with my hands sometimes, and then I just kind of like was sitting here like this, like, excellent.
All right, here we go.
There's a lawsuit against a Florida woman.
No. Well, okay. Yeah, you're right. It's a lawsuit against a Florida woman. Okay.
It's a Florida woman dominatrix who took a house and $500,000 from an elderly client.
Okay, so let's review. This is somebody suing a dominatrix in Florida who apparently took a house and $500,000. She didn't steal it. She did not steal the house. She did not steal the $500,000. Just
the old man got turned on by giving her stuff.
Let's read the article.
Her family is probably really upset. That's who's probably suing. Where'd your grandfather's wealth go?
No, our life insurance.
I would be pissed.
Like, how do you get $500,000?
He was a rich old guy. Could you imagine if he had siblings? That's probably who was suing.
Just read this article. Just please get into it.
His sons and daughters were like expecting him to give him so much money in the house when he died, and he gave it all to a woman that was beating the shit out of him for his pleasure.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's a man in Orlando is suing a local dominatrix, accusing her of taking more than $500,000 and his home. Judith Gumbrich, known as Goddess Jude, advertised on her website that she enjoys spanking, flogging, whipping, and other fetish activities, as well as financial slavery for clients who wish to pamper their mistress.
Financial slavery. Financial slavery. See, I feel like if I walked into a normal crowd of people and said, what is financial slavery? They would all say, oh, that's when the government, does this with taxes, and financial slavery, it's because we're all slave to the machine, man. Like a bunch of hippies would say that. I don't think any normal person would think financial slavery means that.
Former client Alex Abrams, 68, filed a lawsuit against Simel County claiming Gumbrich took more than $500,000 and ownership, because her name was in his financial accounts, and took ownership of his 1,450 square foot townhome in Cattlesbury. The lawsuit accuses Gumbrich of exploiting of an elderly person, theft, and unjust enrichment, Click Orlando reports. Gumbrich, however, continued to reward Abrams with sexual favors. Abrams would be punished if he failed to adhere to the dominatrix financial requirements, the lawsuit states. Abrams' attorney, Brian Mark, claimed Abrams suffered from clinical depression at the time, dementia, and Alzheimer's, and said that his affected decisions when adding Gumbrich to his bank's accounts and signing the deed to his 2014 to transfer his home to her was a mistake. Abrams met Gumbrich after he divorced his wife 32 years and 4 years ago, according to Mark. Mark said that While it is not illegal for Gumbridge to offer financial slavery services, she knew about his diminishing mental state, so she believes he took advantage of it. She went with him to the doctor when he was diagnosed. She was fully aware, Mark told Click Orlando. When you're in that professional relationship with them, you cannot exploit them. You cannot take advantage of their physical or mental incapacities or diminish the capacity to profit. Gumbridge attorney Lawrence G. Walters told Click Orlando that our client has not been served with a lawsuit, so we are not able to provide any comment yet on it. In February, Orlando Code Enforcement received complaints from Gumbridge's neighbors who claimed she was illegally running her business out of her home without a permit.
Oh my god.
But no further action was taken. Her website now states that she is running her business from a different location.
Okay. Wow. I never thought about that. When you're technically in a professional relationship, it's like you can only go so far to manipulate a person. It's such a fascinating,
But how is he then claiming that she...
Well, who's suing her? Is it the guy?
It says him, but it says that he suffers from clinical depression, dementia, and Alzheimer's disease, and that this has affected his decision when he gave Gumbridge the bank accounts and to transfer his home after Gumbridge divorced his wife 32 years or 4 years. But it doesn't say that he himself was suing, but he's suing. Someone's using him to sue using him.
So he's being manipulated again? I wonder if it's somebody else that she took her stuff from.
Again, it's probably a family member that is pissed because they lost the house to her legally.
Yeah, that's probably why. That's probably what it is.
So they took their elderly grandfather to court to sue.
Yeah.
To try to get it back. Yet there is no...
If somebody is sexually and emotionally manipulated your grandparents to get rid of all of their real estate and everything, would you...
Was he happy?
I don't think this guy was very happy.
He said he is still enjoying his sexual pleasures.
Just... See, I guess... I guess I come from the world of furries where I don't really have to go that far to I don't want to say to get sexual pleasure, but to feel like I belong, to feel like I'm myself, to feel that I can connect with people intimately.
His fetish was giving money.
His fetish was selling not even selling, giving his house to somebody who would sexually dominate him and giving them $500,000
over the course of time. But that was his fetish. Oh, I'm so rich. Take my money from me. Oh, yes. Take it by force. Rob me.
You need more money? Well, here's what I don't understand. $500,000 in a house. Why the fuck could you not just move on in life? No, I mean, seriously, if you get that
it's her job. She enjoys it.
She
enjoys what she does.
Fuck, if I got $500,000 out of something, I'd be like, fuck this. And I'd be like, I'd do something else. I mean, I don't know, maybe not. I mean, I guess I do, I love doing podcasting and stuff. I'd probably still do podcasting. But
exactly. If you got $500,000 from doing podcasting, you probably would
Did I accidentally say 5,000? I think I keep accidentally saying 5,000 instead of 500,000.
You'd be excited for $5,000.
I'd be excited for $5,000.
I've never understood the fetish of having someone take your money being a turn on. I can understand so many fetishes.
Pharaoh.
And how...
Pharaoh.
What?
Give me $10.
No.
Give me $20.
No. When's it denying you money was your fetish?
Pharaoh,
reverse.
Pharaoh, I really need $30.
No, and you're just like, oh, yes.
What if I really needed $50?
No.
My dog. Oh.
I'm done. I'm done with the internet today.
Hey, Pharaoh,
I don't want to.
I have a medical bill. It's really expensive. No. Really? You're still not gonna pay me for?
You're making me uncomfortable. That's my fetish. No, you're truly making me uncomfortable. I feel I don't know if I can sit in the same room. Because not only were you saying, give me money, you were rubbing your legs as you said it, and it was making me so uncomfortable.
What if that's my fetish?
Rubbing your legs.
No, making you uncomfortable through that. Tell me about how uncomfortable you are. Does this make you uncomfortable too?
I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I'm just going to, you know what? I'm just going to go the straight.
Silent treatment that's so hot.
That's fucked.
What do you do now? What do you even do?
I feel like that's the best counter bullying technique ever. I think we've just stumbled upon gold. I feel like how could
you walk into bully?
Yeah, you gonna punch me again?
That's really hot.
Do it. What?
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, you creeped out by me? Oh, you tell me about how you creeped out by me? What the fuck?
What do we teach our children?
I don't know. I hope we never have kids. Either you or me independently. Obviously, you and me would never have kids.
I hope we never have kids.
I hope.
Yeah, I'm not having a kid with you.
No, I mean you having a kid.
I am not bearing your ass child.
Plus, CJ would push your kid down the stairs. We learned that last week.
We definitely learned that last week. I can never trust CJ because he's a husky, and huskies apparently don't like kids.
Pharaoh, can I have another one of those cock crisps?
You can have a cock crisp.
Cock crisp. Ooh, chicken biscuit. I love these things. I want to have a cock crisp. It's a cock crisp. It's really salty.
I honestly, I wonder if that would work for terrorists too.
What would work for terrorists?
Making them your fetish. Like if someone was like,
oh, you want to destroy my culture?
Oh, you're gonna kidnap me? Oh, whose god should I worship? Oh, yours? I don't want to, but that's my fetish. What are you gonna do to my country?
Oh. Terrorism as a fetish. We should stop while we're ahead. we should really...
I just want to stop now.
I want to stop too.
There are some lines should not cross on the internet, and I think we've crossed all of them.
I'm gonna eat another cock crisp. Mm-hmm. Well, you could also call them crackers. Cock crackers, but I think cock biscuit is probably the best because the crackers are called chicken biscuit. Oh no, it's chicken in a biscuit. You said basket before. It's not basket, it's biscuit. So it's a cock biscuit. They're really good. Thanks for bringing these. All right.
I need to get away from wolves. I need to stop associating with wolves. I feel like I'm just species misgendered here.
Species misgendered?
Like they put me in a class with wolves and I'm the only fox. That's what I feel like right now. Just feels so uncomfortable.
You got the wrong class schedule.
That's what I feel like. I feel like Fox Academy that fucked up. So I went, instead of going to Fox class, I went to Wolf at 101.
Wolf 101. What would be teaching Wolf 101? Most likely how to type :3.
All I could just picture is just moons all over the walls. And I feel like it's the class teacher to be like, okay, children, today we're going to teach you how to draw the moon.
Oh my God.
And their paws would try to hold the crayon and they couldn't, sneak the circle.
What do they teach in Fox 101?
You don't want to know.
I probably don't. I feel like you wouldn't be fit for that either. You were in your own class.
The special ed foxes.
I just imagine you were in your own class, Blue Fox 101. No, you weren't even in Blue Fox 101. You were just in some kind of special ed class, and the special ed class gets all the hand-me-down, class materials. So even though, most of the classrooms at the beginning of the year get stocked with, all new materials, you got, all the old ones, and the only crayon that you could use was a blue one. And that's what happened.
No, because Fox 101, you learn a lot of things. You're just thinking of Furry Fox 101, and I don't go to that class. But Fox 101, they teach you to pounce, because you got to learn how to get that jump arc.
Okay.
You always need the jump arc.
Right.
That's what they try to teach you.
Okay.
It's difficult. Our rooms are all trampoline floors, so.
Okay.
So Wolf 101 is all moons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Wolf 101, there's moons painted on the wall, and in Fox 101, there's just,
I feel like
there's dominant wolves painted on the walls.
I feel like to
there's just dicks.
I feel like damn it, stop. This isn't the furry classes here.
What's the difference between the furry classes and the not furry classes?
Well, I think the furry foxes are more sexual.
Maybe.
I just feel like to bully the wolves, they'd make fun of wolves for liking moons. So like deer would just come up to the window and stick their ass against the glass and be like, "Yeah, hey wolf, howl at this." Now I'm just thinking of a jock deer.
It's just like you're playing basketball and like you're just about to get like a slam dunk and he just like jumps up and like pokes the ball out of the way with his antlers.
Fuck you. Wow, deers are assholes.
Suddenly. Deer jock assholes.
Deer jock assholes.
Oh.
My.
Where the hell did we go? How did we even get on this topic?
You know, I don't ask those questions anymore.
I just remember.
I just let how things flow, and I just never look back. I've learned to never look back.
So,
speaking of money, though, I have a quick one for you.
Speaking of money, all right.
It's another one from Florida.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's another Florida guy.
All right. So even though this technically isn't news music, this is just some random music from Portal, but I'm going to play this because I feel like this is appropriate for this.
Florida man tries to cash a $368 billion check. And that's not even the most bizarre of it. This was actually sent to us on Facebook, which I would deter you from sending us stories on Facebook.
Yeah, if you want to send us stories, actually, subreddit works the best. Reddit, not subreddit. The subreddit works the best.
The picture of this guy looks like he has no clue what the hell is going on in the world. But, armed with his identification card, Jeff Waters walked into the Jacksonville Bank of America, strolled straight up to the bank teller, and attempted to cash a check for $368 billion.
Okay.
Story gets better.
Really?
Yep. What else out of Florida? So, you may ask, how does one acquire a check for $368 billion?
I love how it's so specific.
Well, a teller told Walters that the check, which later found out he bought from a homeless man named Tito, was unable to be cashed. He became distraught.
Okay. Surprised he's not the homeless man.
I bought this check from a homeless man. I aim to cash it.
I don't even think you can cash that. Like, I'm surprised you didn't at least try to have him put it in like in his bank account or something. I don't even think you can cash.
Please give me that all in $10 bills.
Like, I don't even think most banks will give you cash over a certain amount.
There's usually a limit on how much cash you can take out of the bank. I think it's like 200,000. I think it depends on the person.
But I mean, specifically in cash.
Yeah,
like,
in cash.
They only have so much cash.
It would depend on the
hand.
bank. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the bank. Like, I'm pretty sure if you want to take up more than that, you'd have to have some pretty special cases set up.
When the tellers became suspicious, Walters explained that a homeless man by the name of Tito Watts had sold him the blank USA Bank of Idaho check, which was issued in the 90s for $100 a few months ago. He told the teller that Tito was a very upstanding guy and that that he could go ahead and cash the check for whatever amount he truly wanted. So Tito, the magical genie granting money wishing homeless man that he is.
Right.
When I think of Tito, all I can think of is the guy from Rocket Power.
Oh, I gotta know what you're talking about. I haven't seen that show in ages.
Quote unquote from Mr. Walters. Tito said the check was good for any amount I wanted to write it for, so I blamed Tito, not me. I'm innocent as a schoolgirl.
As innocent as a schoolgirl?
Said the Florida native.
Okay.
So because of the large amount, $368 billion, Walters made the check out to cash.
Because that's gonna work.
And headed to the bank to cash his check. Walters said that he wanted the $368 billion to start an Italian restaurant. Because that was his dream.
To start an Italian restaurant. Singular. Not like... I'm pretty sure... like, the entire ownership of, like... the entire company of Olive Garden.
I think you could fucking buy Italy for $368 billion.
You could fucking buy the country.
Just want the $368 billion. I want to open up an Italian restaurant on my home street.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Like, maybe he thought he could spend like $100 billion on an Italian restaurant. Like, this would be the biggest, best Italian restaurant in the world.
All of Italy. He just buys Italy and puts everyone to work for this restaurant. What the fuck?
I thought what he was thinking. I haven't read ahead.
Right.
But the next quote. I fucking called it.
Okay.
Waters stated, "It has always been my dream to own the best Italian restaurant on earth."
On Earth.
On Earth.
On Earth.
I feel like for $368 billion, you probably can own the best Italian restaurant in the universe. Because you could probably build it on the moon.
Yeah, probably.
Walters had planned to make the restaurant 80 million square feet.
80 million square feet. Okay.
How many square feet is in New York State?
I don't know. Well, they don't have square feet. They have square miles.
Well,
so I don't know. Here, let's do square miles. Yep. Let's see. All right, so it's 304 square miles. Okay, so 304 square miles in square feet. Oh my god, it's a lot. It is. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. It is 8,475
million or billion?
Million 33,600 square feet in New York State.
In New York City.
Oh, New York City.
That was New York City.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you wanted all in New York State.
No, that was the total you got was New York City.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this restaurant's actually not that terribly big. All right. No, New York City land area. Okay. Right. So how much was this? What did he say?
80 million square feet.
80 million square feet in square miles. Let's see what we get. That's 2.8 square miles. 2.8 square miles of Italian restaurant.
2.8 square miles.
No, it's 2.86. All right, let's round up. It's 2.9.
No, if you're going to
million.
round up, it's 2.87 square miles of Italian restaurant. Learn your maths.
2.87
square miles of eatery.
Yep.
And he wanted this because he wanted to accommodate 30 million eaters at once. Plus, it was going to be totally underwater so people could look at sharks while they eat.
Wow. You want to build something that's like almost 3 square
He
miles?
wants to build
Underwater.
Sea Lab underwater.
Underwater, but bigger.
Instead of...
And it's an Italian restaurant. Oh my god. I think my favorite part about this, my favorite way to think about this, is the fact that he's building something super intense, never been done before, something that the government could barely put money into, like on the moon, underwater, super crazy, and it's an Italian restaurant. It's probably the best part. He's gonna turn the entire moon into an Italian restaurant. Is there anything left in this, or is it over?
That explains everything. I'm sure you can guess the outcome. In addition to a forgery count, Walters was charged with unlawfully carrying Chinese throwing stars and possessed bath salts. He was released after posting a $23,000 bail.
Oh, that's a lot of money he could have spent on his Italian restaurant.
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
Under the sea. Under the sea. Down where it's wetter. Italian restaurant waiting for me.
Oh, man. I don't even know what to think. Sorry, guys, the main camera died. But
All I can think of is now, like, what was it, BioShock? Where, like, there's the whole underwater, like, city.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it's like that, but the whole thing's an Italian restaurant.
Granted, I would like to look at sharks while I eat.
Would you go to this Italian restaurant? Here's the other thing I want to point out. Okay, if it's like a dome underwater and you're supposed to be able to see sharks, that means you'd need to be near the edge, right? Because it's like an underwater dome or whatever. Or even if it wasn't a dome, even if it was like a square, like you need to be near the wall. But if it's almost 3 square miles, it would just be a long tunnel. Because, like, otherwise it would just be giant. You'd be in the middle of it and you wouldn't be able to see any of the sharks.
Maybe he just wanted to make it a square restaurant. Or maybe he was doing multiplex layers.
Or it could have
like in between.
had floors. It could have had floors, yeah.
Like, so there'd be floor, water.
Like the fucking Empire State Building underwater. And the whole thing is an Italian restaurant.
But how do you get that many
Somebody
sharks?
needs to give this guy money.
I don't even think there's that many sharks in the world to cover 2 point.
Specifically so people can look at sharks, by the way.
Specifically.
Not anything else.
Because in his mind, he woke up from his drugged out dream of bath salts and thought, I have an idea. What if you were eating spaghetti and you looked up and there were sharks? That's what I want. That's my dream.
How many $billion?
$368 billion.
$368 billion. All right. It's a pretty worthwhile investment right there.
I would hate this man forever if he got that. If somehow Tito is right and he got $368 billion and he wasted $368 billion on a 2.7 or 80,000 square foot, 80 million square foot Italian restaurant under the sea,
I would be upset. See, if there were chains, like if he was building a ton of them all over the place, that'd be pretty cool. Like, what if there was one in Lake Erie? We could just totally go and...
Is he going to import sharks?
That's right, because there's no sharks in Lake Erie.
Or is he gonna like?
No,
go
he won't
full-
open one in Lake
Is he
Erie.
gonna like
only
make
where there's sharks? only sharks.
Or is he gonna make it in Lake Erie and then put a box on top of the box that's saltwater? So it's a saltwater box underwater in Lake Erie with sharks.
I didn't even think about that.
See, I can think out of the box too.
And then he builds.
And I don't even need bath salts.
And then he builds a whole separate Italian restaurant for the sharks.
Isn't that what Shark Tale was about?
Probably. I don't know. You guys are listening to FurCast Live on XPN. We'll be back after a quick music break.
I've got a bad Mexican kick and it's killing me. I'm a man in zero gravity. I said, doctor, help me. I'm a sinner, a junker, and I'm a country boy. When I was younger,
No, you won't. Until you try, you never feel happy.
You guys are listening to FurCast. That was Happy by C2C, by the way. Great track. And we're pretty much back. I've got an email ready to read. I'm sure Pharaoh doesn't, so I'm going to go get started with that. Real quick, though, I do need to change the lower third to say that we're reading fan emails. I'm going to click the little button, and that says we're reading fan emails. A big bowl of suck. That's what this email is called.
That's a lot of suck.
That is a lot of suck.
Like a Hoover
That's a whole bowl of suck. Did you add milk to the bowl of
what's
suck?
The power of the
like you have
suck,
to add milk
like
to it.
Hoover
Like it's
level?
not going to be taste very good if you don't
Is
add
it
milk.
cyclone
Like,
technology?
Absolutely.
It's like cheap vacuum suck or like Hoover level. Because that's a lot of suck. Like depending on the suckage, I feel like that could mean a lot more.
All right, so I'm going to read this. Dear FurCast, I have been postponing this email for quite some time now. And seeming as I will be leaving for college soon, I figured I should just do it. A while ago, I was in a relationship that was not the best. Though at times it was abusive and it took my now ex a while to stop nut tapping me, quote unquote. I don't know what that is and I don't think I want to know. But I looked past it and only considered it mildly annoying. She identified it as she identified as a relationship anarchist, where I hold more traditional views towards relationships. Okay. So that's already setting us up here for this email. This caused some problems starting in high school when she was contemplating leaving me for another boy and actually contacted the show asking for advice. Wow, okay, so this person actually has contacted us for advice, and we gave them advice before. Okay. She ended up flipping a coin to decide whether to stay with me or go for the other boy. Wow, okay.
Seems like a harsh relationship
kind
if
of
you're
like
at the flip of a coin.
Well, like... Okay, all right. I mean, besides arbitrary choices, I suppose it is a pretty big deal when you decide to, like, go with another person to, like, move and live with that person. But anyway, as she was a year ahead of me in the academic system, she went off to college, leaving me behind and somehow our relationship, too. She cheated on me with 2 other guys and ended up starting another relationship with one of them.
Did she really cheat, though? If she was already declared as an anarchic?
It doesn't sound like she cheated if she's not in a relationship. I mean... Like, it would be cheating if she lied about it and had promised you not to do that, but it's not cheating if she said, I'm not going to do that. I do not know of this...
Can I just pause there? Because if she was identifying herself as a relationship anarchist and you were a traditional relationship, then I don't think that relationship is going to work if you were going to continue to judge it as a traditional relationship, but she continued to judge it as a relationship anarchist.
I want to pull something from what Farah just said. Specifically, it's not going to work if you try to judge it under that traditional value, right? That doesn't mean that you can't get along, be friends, be close, be intimate. It just simply means that because you guys disagree on that level, it's not going to work at that level because of that. But not necessarily that, you know, they're completely incompatible or anything.
No, I mean, still gonna be friends, still could, you know, enjoy the company of each other. But as relationship-wise, you've kind of stated it the head on the nail in the very first beginning that didn't have a future plan with that one.
I did not know of this second relationship until 6 months later when she told me while breaking up with me on our anniversary. Wait, okay. Okay, so she did lie about being in a relationship with somebody else. Okay, that's actually kind of a dick move.
Well, did she? Or did she state that she was a relationship anarchist, so that means that she was just going to continue being with other people?
I don't know.
Because if she identified as a relationship anarchist in the beginning of the relationship, she definitely said that she was not going to continue just with one person.
Right, like, and that happens a lot. Somebody kind of says something, and it's one of those things where you don't want to hear it, so you kind of block it out and you forget about it, and then you feel like a person is giving you mixed feelings or mixed signals, but in reality, maybe that person is going back and forth a little bit, trying to cope with the way you are, but they're not necessarily giving you mixed signals. It's that you should have never expected them to do what you're trying to get them to do in the first place, right? Like, no, I'll be honest, that's happened to me.
I gotta pause though there for a second and say that I don't really find them as cheating if they told you straight up that they're just gonna, they're like, I'm gonna sleep with other people. I mean, if you want to date me, yeah, sure. I'm a relationship anarchist. Oh, you like, you know, being having a model relationship? Well, I'm a relationship anarchist, so I'm gonna sleep with other people. If they go and then sleep with other people, you can't say that they cheated on you because they told you in the beginning, I'm going to sleep with other people. I'm a relationship anarchist. So there was a sign there in the beginning.
Right. I mean, it'd be different if she had like agreed to it and then kept it completely secret. But I don't know. It's like at the same time, like I've had people in my life, because I'm a relationship anarchist, and I've had people who are like really close to me and I'm really close to them and everything, and it's all good. And they're like very close to me and I'm like, you know, you understand that I'm a relationship anarchist and everything, but you know, I'm very close to them and they kind of don't hear that. And I've had times where people are like, you know, oh, well, you're giving me mixed signals because it's like, you love me, but you don't want to be with me. And I'm like, it's not a mixed signal at all. You know for a fact that I'm just a relationship anarchist. I just don't label things that way. So just because I don't treat it the same way you do doesn't necessarily mean I don't value it in that way, right? Like
open source love is what you're saying.
Right, but, well, that's what a relationship anarchy is. But I mean, like, I'm trying to think of
I just went so technical with it, and I feel like you didn't even, like, take your time. Open source love? I feel like it works pretty well.
But it's kind of like this. It's kind of like, of saying, you know, like, you know, hey, well, I kind of believe my own morality. I kind of don't follow, like, let's say Christianity. And it's like, oh, okay, whatever. And we keep being in a relationship. And then later you find out that, like, I don't believe in God. And you're like, well, I can't believe you. You just, you know, don't believe in any morals. And it's like, no, I do have a lot of morals. I just don't believe it. I don't see it the same way that you do. I don't value it. I don't label it the same way that you do. So sometimes you think there's mixed signals, but in reality, you misinterpreted the person all along, and because they care about you, right? Like, I still care about this person who's upset that I don't value things the way they do. So I try to cope with it and I try to help them. And it's not that like, I'm in a relationship to pity them, or it's not like, I'm going to pity fuck them or something, but it's simply that, you want to help someone that you do genuinely care about, but then they get mixed signals because they see that as, oh, well, you're in a relationship. But it's like, no, I'm just a relationship anarchist. I just care about you. It's very hard for people to understand that sometimes. So I just want to point that out. Like, it's not always mixed signals. Sometimes people don't exactly know, if there are mixed signals, most of the time it's not on purpose.
Continue.
Okay, sorry. Sorry about that little rant there. I did not know of the second relationship until 6 months later when she told me while breaking it with me on our anniversary. Devastated, I forced her out of my life, which according to her was worse than breaking up. Okay, probably because she still wanted to be friends with you. Afterwards, since her new boyfriend was joining the military, he got some of his military friends to harass me on social media. That sucks. Since then, I put the pieces of my life back together, getting a new girlfriend and achieving rank of Eagle Scout. Cool. And no, this whole email isn't about my past relationship. It's just to understand that this was a big bowl of suck. Recently, she has been trying to talk to me more about her problems, but more annoyingly talk down to me as if everything was my fault. Now that I have finished with context, I can get to my question. How would you recommend I go about being at the same college as my ex and her new boyfriend? I know that college campuses are large and my chances of running into her accidentally are slim, but I plan on joining the same paintball team that she is on regardless of what happened in the past. I appreciate any advice you could give. Sincerely, Tez Bravetail, the Fulfangel. That's a fascinating persona. So first of all, thank you for writing in. My advice, honestly, would be that
treat people with respect and just don't care about the past that you've had with the person. I mean, as long as you kind of just treat someone with respect, because you're not going to be able to completely disclose someone from your life, because that's kind of impossible unless they neither exist nor you neither exist. For someone to be completely out of your life entirely. I just see it as impossible and improbable. So the fact that you're still going to both exist on the same planet is that you should still be able to acknowledge them with respect, is despite past infractions of someone cheating on someone. But at the same time, I don't really find it as cheating since the goals of relationship are already stated.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I guess, sometimes, the best you can do is just be a cool guy, be like a cool person who has interests, who has a life, who has, walk by, oh, hi, how you doing, whatever. Like, it's just, I feel like, if you can be the person who steps up and just moves on, which it sounds like you have, and just, lives, and if you want to be on the paintball team, well, fuck it, join it, if it's not awkward for... Because it sounds, from the way you're describing it, it's not awkward for her or anybody she's involved with. It's only awkward for you. So I would say, in that case, join the paintball team. Screw it. Don't let... If these people are negative to the point where you had to push them out of your life, don't let them bring you down again. It's not worth it to give them that power to bring you down. If you're not going to give them the power to be intimate again because of what they did, then don't give them the power to bring some negativity into your life, and try to center around people who are very, if you've got some friends on that paintball team who are like really cool and into it, like, focus on those kind of people. Focus on people who are just they wake up every day and they're excited about something like that, rather than, she sounds like, okay, as for her telling you about her problems thing, not exactly sure what to do about that. I guess just kind of listen, but
I mean, at least that tells you that she respects you enough that she can tell you with her problems. I mean, in the same sense, I feel like people should still hold some respect back to another person. I don't know. I don't like when people decide to abandon people completely out of their lives and can refuse to talk to them or acknowledge their existence. I just find that as, I feel like there's easier ways to pretty much exclude people from having an influence on you. And I feel like ignoring them, pushing them aside and stuff like that is not necessarily the right thing to do.
Well, I think you can ignore them a little bit, but you still have to respect them, right? Like, there's a difference between, moving on and doing your own things and spending less and less time interacting with those people than there is, completely ignoring them. Like, if they say hi to you, don't walk by and not even say hi. That's not cool. You should still, say like, oh, hi, how you doing? And then just have a short conversation, be like, oh, I gotta go, and then just, leave, and that's it. right? You still respect them, but you don't let them.
I mean, there's people that I don't get along with or like that, but I've seen how people act to other people, and I find it very disrespectful. I don't know. I just find it disrespectful for people interacting and those that are around them. I just don't like when people like purposely. And if you don't like someone, that's fine. You don't have to talk to them. You don't have to really associate with them that much. But if someone acknowledges you, acknowledge them, give them a hint, and then be on with it. I've seen people cause a lot of drama over things or like not go to places because, that person's going to be there, so I can't go there or things like that. And I find it just...
Well, I recently ended up at a party with you with somebody who doesn't like me very much. And I sat down next to them, not even realizing that I was sitting next to them. And finally that person turned to me and they said, "So how are you doing?" And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, holy shit. So finally I just turned and I said, "I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?" And then, he said that, and it was like stupid small talk. Obviously, it might not have meant anything, but as the night progressed, we did slowly interact more and more, just to show, we're not friends, but I hope you're doing okay in your life. It was that kind of thing. Like, I kind of felt leaving that party like that person said to me, basically, "I'm not your friend anymore, but I hope you're doing okay." And that felt really good after. Well, how long has it been? 4 or 5 years now?
I'd say like 3 or 4.
3 or 4?
Yeah, maybe a little
at least 4, because of season 1? It was around season 1 that whole thing happened, I remember, of FurCast. So I don't know. But anyway, yeah.
Regardless.
There's, it sucks moving on from people. It really does. I'm also going through that, again, with another group of people recently, and it's like, what sucks about it is that, no matter how much you want to pretend you were angry at people, no matter how much you want to pretend that it all went wrong, you have to admit, when there's like a funny article that shows up on my computer or like something that I think is interesting, and I go and I like log on and I'm like linking it to my friends, like, "Oh, you should check out this video that I just found." And I get to their username and it's like, "Oh, I can't send it to them anymore."
There's very few people in my life where even the ones that I don't really associate with or don't really like that much, because we share differing opinions, I still have the utmost respect for everyone that's around me. I don't know, I feel like it's a common courtesy that not a lot of people share, and maybe that a lot of people have the ability to do. I mean, I guess I'm a lot nicer than a lot of people, but...
I've seen people that I hate really succeed in life, and I'm just kind of like, good for them. I would never want to... I guess it's also partially from the internal fear of what if you're the person who was wrong the whole time, You almost, in a weird way, want to see them succeed because, I don't know, I feel like if somebody that I don't like completely fails at their life and they're miserable, it's like, that doesn't make me feel better about myself. That just makes me feel like shit because I left that person and they're miserable, I don't know.
So the last part is, joining the paintball team. Do what you love despite what people around you are going to be at. So, I mean, if you enjoy paintball and they're going to be in paintball, do paintball. As long as you're uncomfortable with small, slightly awkward interactions, but don't let that stop you from doing what you love and what you enjoy. So that's my end of this.
There you go. And the camera died again, guys. Sorry. I'm sure people are going to freak out in the chat room in a minute. Oh my god, the camera went black. It does.
It's really dark in here.
It's not. It's really bright in here.
Oh, you still have you like switch to that camera, so then I could say it's really dark in here because you have it.
Oh, okay.
The lights are off.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. Now I feel better.
Nice. It's just kind of weird because I look at the video mixer output on that TV and it's just black, and it's like, what? Like, it almost looks like that TV's off, and then I realize, oh no, your camera's still on that mixer. Oh man. Hopefully this new camera that I'm getting won't have any overheating problems. I really hope it doesn't.
It's always really hot in this room, though, too.
It is really hot in this room. I'm kind of surprised that all of the electronics survive as well as they do, actually. All right, well, I guess that's it. Do you want to end the show and just do like a post show and just take calls? We'll put on the air conditioner and everything.
Yeah, I have an email. I have a.
Oh, you have an email?
Something.
Oh, that's right. We only read one email. I'm sorry. Yeah, let's read at least one more. Sorry about that.
A few more, I would think. Just.
All right.
Trying to find what I was reading because I was going to read something that was not
something from Facebook.
You don't want to say that because I don't want people messaging me on Facebook for it. But
Yeah.
there's like
Yeah, guys, we're not heavy Facebook users. Just know that. Like, you can
look at this is not even loading. Like Facebook.
you can message us on Facebook. Just don't expect a quick response. Like, I don't do Facebook texting. Like, I use Facebook like email, right? Like, I'll write like several paragraphs and have like sincerely paradox at the bottom. I'll send it. I close it. It's just the way I don't. If you want to instant message me, use an actual like decent messaging client like Telegram or Skype, even or AIM or Jabber or just anything besides Facebook. Dear God. And I'm not. By the way, don't ever feel bad if you've messaged me on Facebook. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I understand most people
I talk to people on Facebook every
once in a while. I still do too. I'm just saying, don't expect.
It's not the fastest method, though.
It's not fast. That's all I'm saying. Just don't expect it to be quick.
Anyhow.
Okay, go ahead. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mute my mic while you're reading this, and I'm going to turn on the air conditioner. Is that okay?
It's fine. It's really gotten a lot hotter in here.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot. Oops, sorry. I turned off your mic instead of my mic. There we go. There we go. All right.
So this is more of a shout out, but just wanted to read it anyway. Hey, y'all. Tech is hating me, so I just wanted to send my message here. I hope it gets seen. I'm soon to be joining the Army, and I just wanted to thank you guys for providing a few hours of amazing fun a week. I've been listening since around episode 80, and if we were allowed on the internet on base, I'd be listening to every episode to come. But seriously, you guys have covered so many topics, so many subjects, that have been immensely helped me, and I just want to hug and snuggle all of you for the way it's helped me in my life. I will be tuning in for approximately 7 more episodes before my basic training starts, with millions of hugs and purrs and nose bumps. Your fan, Raiku Kurukana, the Black Tiger X.
Now I gotta turn on my mic. Nice. Alright, we're gonna keep the air conditioner on, guys. Sorry for the noise in the background, but, whatever. We're gonna keep that. It's actually not too bad, because we only have 2 mics on. Normally we have more mics in the studio, and that makes it worse. Yeah, okay. That's nice.
I hadn't checked through our email box in a little while since I've been busy this week. I've been busy actually a couple of weeks. Been like 16-hour days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got another really long relationship one. You mind if I read this one?
If you won't.
All right, it's a long one, but I'll read it. Ooh, all right. Sorry, guys. It is really hot in here. It's like over 90 degrees in here, easy. Just to give anybody who's not in the U.S. or North America, that's about 35 degrees Celsius. It's about 35 degrees Celsius in this room.
Let's say a little hotter with probably high humidity.
Yeah, it's also very humid. The table's wet. Advice: can't stop recalling abusive relationship. Hey, FurCast, I'm Mint the Borzoi, Borzoi, emailing from the UK. I hope you guys are well. I wanted to email you guys for some advice. It's a pretty long story, but I've tried to simplify it where I can. I'm really sorry it's so long. From late 2013 to 2014, I was in a relationship with a guy named Mark. I developed anxiety in 2012, but I can say with no hesitation that this relationship made it 1,000 times more severe. Uh-oh. Something of the things that he did were admittedly not done through deliberate fault. He has a dysfunctional home life and parents who are mentally ill. While I was with him, I could sometimes see why he acted the way he did. Unhealthy patterns of behavior that were developed because of his relationship with his parents. Unfortunately, the fact that I could recognize the causes of them did not help me while I was on the receiving end of such behavior. This guy would constantly mock and make fun of things. A lot of people found him funny for it. But it wasn't fucking funny at all when he was taking the piss out of me or things that were important to me.
I love that the quote "taking the piss out of me" is something strictly for the UK, because I don't think we've ever used that quote in America, but I know Maybe. It's an idiom for the UK.
If I asked him to stop, he would essentially guilt trip me and do anything to make me feel like an unreasonable, horrible person. Be that ignoring me and outwardly hostile and rude, or getting extremely upset and making me apologize through guilt tripping. The whole making me apologize part is very significant. He would turn every situation around to make it so that I had done something horribly wrong, or that I was being crazy or insane.
Can I just stop for a second and say something?
Sure, yeah.
So this was all out in public, or you made it seem like a lot of it happened in public or areas. Did you ever stop and just have a conversation with them? In person, like 2 and 2, just the 2 of you in the same room, just heart to heart.
Or you know what? I would say is just say, hey, you know what you said earlier? It's not that you're necessarily wrong, but I just want you to understand, that kind of hurt my feelings or something like that. Like, if this is somebody that you're connected with and they're your friend, and I mean, if they just make fun of you even more, then I would be like, well, you're not a very good friend, and that's that. You know what I mean?
There's a fine line for being funny and just being cruel, and I think that's one of the things that people need to understand too. Like, you can't just mockingly make fun of everyone at every moment in time and then turn it and just laugh it off and be like, hey, I was joking.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily work like that because you still come out as an asshole. I mean, with my close friends, I always make some kind of joke or something like that. You step the line a little bit, but that's it. You kind of step the line a little bit, and then if you notice that
even if not, like, I know you guys use profanity to each other all the time, but there would be nothing wrong with one of those people coming up to you and saying, hey, I understand, it's funny, everybody loves, that really upsets me, it hurts my feelings, could you not do that?
I mean, I've actually had that with
You've had that happen.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. I'd stop. I'd be like, oh, sorry, I didn't actually know that would upset you. Because my biggest thing is I'd never want to upset someone.
Yeah.
And I'd never actually want to upset someone or make someone feel uncomfortable or make someone feel, upset or sad. Joking is one thing, but, when you start kind of affecting people's emotions with it, it's a whole different story. So,
right, and it's not about political correctness. It's just about respecting people.
Yeah.
You
could be the most politically incorrect person, still be funny and not hurt anyone, but at the same time, you can be politically correct and still cause a lot of damage, just in the sense of how you treat people.
He gave me no space to myself. Anything I was interested in, he had to know about. I'm a very private person in that I need interests and activities that I can engage in alone. Of course, everyone is like that to an extent, but I knew that this was getting to me particularly badly. He was also physically rough with me. He was very tall and heavy, so he easily threw me around even when we were happy and doing nothing. Even his mum would sometimes point it out while we were together. Be careful with her, for goodness sake, quote unquote, etc. It got worse and more severe over the course of the relationship to the point where I was frightened to be around him. I would feel sick to my stomach knowing I had to go and spend time with this guy who mocked me, pushed me, hurt me, and gave me no space, and when I mentioned it to him, would guilt trip me so hard that I had to apologize for standing my ground. For an example...
Someone I pause again, because it bothers me. I wouldn't deal with a person like this. I'm sorry, I don't care how much of a friend a person was, but if they refused to listen to me and tried to guilt me and everything, I just would not associate with them.
Either that, or I would go to some other friends and just say, like, hey, when we were all out together last night, like, did you notice the way he acted? What do you think about that? Because that upsets me, and I want to know, you know what I mean? Like, I've done that before. Like, I've actually gone to people, and it's not that you're talking about somebody behind their back necessarily. It's just that, you go to somebody, and it's like, I'll say, like, that person, really, like, said some mean stuff, and then another person will agree with me, and finally it's like, wow, okay, I'm not crazy. This person genuinely was being very disrespectful in public or whatever.
Originally this was talking about how they got into a relationship with it. They were in anxiety, or they had anxiety beforehand, and they got in this relationship and kind of let it continue. But I feel like this one of the things is there are better relationships out there, and you shouldn't use this one as an example. Even if it helped with your anxiety in the beginning, you can't focus on something that, was a quick fix or something that helped, relieve a problem in the beginning and then hope that it will do the same result later on, especially if it's causing more problems than it is, solving. So when it's in something like this, because I was reading the beginning part to catch up, I haven't read the true part of the email. I just wanted to comment on something like that. Like, I've seen people just stay in relationships and be in situations where they were once happy, but they're not anymore, and they continue to be unhappy, and they don't say anything. They just continue going with it in the sense that in their head, they believe that sometime down the road, it'll be as happy as it was in the beginning.
Or they feel like it would take more effort and more unhappiness to solve the situation than it would to just put up with it.
I haven't seen that. I've seen it just more so with people just putting up with, that could be the exact same thing.
Well, I'm sure if you've been married for many years and you're living together, that's certainly the situation. I definitely know some adult couples who are living together where it's like, we're not even interested in their relationship anymore, but it would take so much more effort to just change our whole life path at this point that they just stick with it because it's easier and they've learned to work with each other even though they don't agree or they don't connect at all. I suppose it's a little bit different when it's an abusive relationship versus just a relationship that's dead.
Let's say quite the difference, but
Yeah. But all right.
That was just in general. I feel like people sometimes associate with negative emotions in hopes that it will turn to positive, when I think that's just a negative thing to do. Because if you're in an instance that makes you unhappy and you don't take any steps forward to, try to correct it first. I mean, there's always going to be some errors in life. And, it's always worth, trying to troubleshoot a little bit. I wouldn't say, like, as soon as someone recurs a problem, to abandon all hope, ye who enters here, and, go off a different path. So, but it's more so like, try. That's the only thing I guess you could say is, when you're in a relationship with things start going, awry, I feel like first is always communication. I think we've talked about that a lot. Is, talk to someone first, kind of get a feel for it. If people refuse to continue to let you talk or mock you for it, then you're kind of building your own perception of what to expect.
You're also building reason to not give this person the time of day.
And I feel like you shouldn't be guilted into a relationship either. I don't know. Granted, these things might not be associated with the email at hand, but I feel like people are like, oh, and they try to guilt someone back into a relationship. Like, well, you're not going to be happy or something like that. And that's just emotional abuse. And it's in those instances that you get out now. Like, don't associate people that are going to bring negativity upon you or bring their own negativity upon you. And that's another thing I would want to say is, never associate yourself with negativity, because the negativity will influence you.
Well, I mean, like, I know people who have had, and this camera just came back on, I know people who have really horrible things happen to them, and they're really sad, and they're really done, and I still, even when they come to me, I don't feel that they're trying to drag me down with their negativity. Like, it's a whole different feeling. There's a big difference between, a negative moment or, I'm crying, I've had a bad day, I need a hug, versus someone who ropes you into their shit.
Oh,
as well.
Definitely a huge difference.
Huge difference there. And I've definitely experienced that as well. Because it's really hard to use the word negative, because negative is such a blanket term. Like, you can't just say, like, oh, that person's negative, because it's like, everybody's...
I guess that you should, if you wanted a word negative into an emotion that I would say fits that situation, is if you're sad, if you're upset, and instead of looking for comfort, the comfort that you look for is making other people sad, that is negativity. So, like...
Wow.
What?
No, I'm sorry. That is... Wow. Okay. Thank you for saying that. That actually meant a lot to me. Like, that was really well said. Like, the fact that it's not that you are negative or that, negative things happen or you talk about negative stuff. It's just that you enjoy connecting with people on a negative level. You enjoy bringing other people down. Or rather. And
that's what I would say is more as a negativity. Because I've seen people like that, and I've known people like that, where they're sad, they're upset, and they are not seeking comfort to bring them up out of being sad or upset. What they do is just bring everyone down with them.
Yeah.
And they see the ship sinking, they want everyone else to sink with them, instead of having everyone help them or anyone, bring them, up to speed or bring them, kind of so, I mean, that's when I use negativity, that's what I view as negativity. So.
I definitely know a few people like that. All right. Sorry, guys. Let's get back to this email. For example, one time, he shoved me off the bed and gave me a scrape on my arm. I showed it to him saying, hey man, please don't do that. I got the scrape now. He looked at it, which was very clearly in the middle of my arm, stinging and red, and said, what, Ellie? What scrape? I have no idea what you're talking about. I think he might have been trying to make the point of, I'm not abusive, you're making it up, and shifting the blame of the situation to me. I still can't really figure it out, but again, it seriously fucked with me. He did this often. I know this person's emailing into the show to get advice, but I almost feel like, guys, I'm sorry to keep segueing off of this email. If you ever have a really shitty time with a person, or you are just ever really upset, try just writing an email and then deleting it. Like, you don't have to send it. You don't have to send it to the person. You don't have to send it to any friends. Just write an essay about everything you feel. And I almost feel like that's what this person who's emailing into the show is doing. Because, I mean, I know they're probably also asking for advice too. I'm not saying the person who emailed it, I'm not saying that's why you emailed us. But I feel like, could you at least admit that in some ways emailing us in this way was a bit of therapy for you to type all of this up? I mean, it had to have been. Having to say stuff like, no, of course you're not abusive, I'm sorry, actually made me believe on a surface level that he was not abusive, and that it was me who had something wrong with me. That's partly why I stayed with him for a whole year. I'd convinced myself that I needed him, and that it was a healthy relationship, and that I wouldn't be able to cope without him. I'm sure you've heard of many cases... Whoops, I just moved my mouse really bad. Fuck. Many cases like this one. A person is convinced that they need another person and can't break out of a horrifically unhealthy situation.
It's called relationship manipulation, pretty much. It's one side that's completely unhappy, and the other side that just controls the other one's unhappiness, pretty much. It's not a good relationship to be in, and it's one of the things that don't even try to convince yourself that it's okay, or even like that, because this seems almost on the level of, reporting to police level of... Like, you're reporting to us, and, hopefully this is not ongoing still, because this is, I would say, on something that probably should be reported to authorities if it continued. I mean, granted, there is such thing. Yeah. Well, there is such thing as emotional abuse. So, I mean, if there is emotional abuse, that you can actually get someone in, like,
yeah,
I wouldn't say arrested, but I would say actions taken against them.
My anxiety got so bad that I let out almost all of my friendships dwindle to nothing. I was spending almost all of my time with him. I'd wake up feeling sick every day. I got to the point where I realized that if I didn't turn my life around, I would get into such severely suicidal state that I had no idea what would happen to me. I won't draw this explanation for too long, as this email's already a novel, but thankfully I managed to turn my life around. I broke up with him. That didn't go without a barrage of calls and voicemails from him calling me names, but I didn't care, because I finally realized what I was getting out of.
Good for you.
Good for you, man. Like, wow, good for you. 9 months later, and I'm in a good place. I have an amazing partner who is helping me infinitely with my anxiety, a friendship circle, and a place in university for September. I'm proud of myself for finally building these things into my life. But sometimes I get reminders and even vivid flashbacks of the way I was treated before, or just the state I was in. I'll remember his face, his voice, the way I felt, the smell of his house, anything. Often very minor things, but they'll send me into such a state that I can't function. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I often feel like I don't have a reason to be dealing with it that badly, as what happened to me wasn't even that severe. But then, it's his guilt-tripping talking or me. Is it his guilt-tripping talking or me? It's been driving me crazy, and I don't like talking about him with my friends or partner. I want to deal with every situation in the most positive way that I possibly can, and I have a dreadful feeling inside that says that talking about the situation will not make me feel positive. Every time I talk about it, I feel sick. I want to avoid that. I'm supposed to be progressing away from that situation in my life, not towards it. I hope this has made sense. To summarize, I just have no idea on how to truly get over this situation. It is affecting my current relationship. Before, I wouldn't be able to talk to Mark without very plausible fear of him shouting at me or mocking me. That sometimes makes it difficult for me to talk to my current boyfriend, as those feelings or fear and nervousness will return, and they're debilitating. It sends me into a vicious cycle and panic attacks.
I gotta pause there for a second and say, the fact is that you should just let your partner know. If they're actually a good partner, which they seem like they are, explaining the past issues that you had with, the previous individual that you were with has left a little bit of, I would say, we'll put it in uniqueness and, a hesitant, a nature that needs coaxing, I guess you could say. So, I mean, if you kind of explain to them that you have these feelings that, you kind of feel worried or scared or stuff like that, they should be accepting of that and understand that when you're in situations, they'll recognize that. And if you plan to be with this person for a longer time, when they recognize that, because any person that is in a relationship that you kind of build almost a spiritual bond with people, if you're in a true, solo relationship and you really have a passion for someone, you can see their flaws. You can see the moments when they're at their weakest. And I feel that's the time that you kind of learn to step in and actually boost that up rather than knock it down. And it seems like the first relationship you had was definitely something that was not a good relationship to adhere to. I know. So
real quick, I would like to shout out Matt Lieberman, who is one of the guys who's on SourceFed all the time. He did a video on his channel. It's actually kind of like emailing into FurCast. You email him and he kind of gives you advice. The video is titled "Still in Love with My Abusive Ex." by Matt Lieberman. That's Lieberman. In fact, if you go to the FurCast Twitter account, it should be one of the recent things in like the media section. You know how on the side of Twitter you can click that button and it has like the list of like all the recent videos and pictures? I linked it on the FurCast Twitter. Check it out. Even if you don't have Twitter, you don't need Twitter, by the way. You can just load it's public. Check out Matt Lieberman's video. He gives great advice on almost a very similar thing to what you went through, and he kind of was very along the lines of what we're saying. But I just, to the person who wrote this in, Mint, Ellie, whatever you want us to call you, definitely check out that video. As positive as I'm trying to be right now, I often feel like I'm set back by these flashbacks. I know it will take time, but do you have any advice in regards for helping with the situation progress more quickly? Thank you so much for reading this far. I appreciate it so much. I hope you are having a good week. Mint/Ellie. Less than 3, which is a heart. So first of all, Mint/Ellie, thank you for sending in an incredibly well-written email. Yes, it was long, but that's okay. You went through a lot. You deserve it. You're all good. Thank you for sending an incredibly well-written email. I can tell you put a lot of effort into it. I can also tell that this was probably therapeutic for you to write this, I would assume. At least I hope. So hugs to you. And thank you for emailing in about something that you went through. You're not crazy at all. And you also should probably understand that there are a lot of people who are either going through or have gone through the exact same thing as you. Not saying that, you're just like other people or anything. I'm just saying you're not crazy. So, there you go.
I'd agree. Yeah. And as for getting over it, sometimes, granted, spurts of talking about it or sometimes writing a journal about stuff like that kind of lets it escape your mind. So you're taking it from mentality to paper. And in a way, it's kind of like a stress reliever. So it's things like that it does, it brings back bad memories. But at the same time, you're not bottling them up. You're kind of just letting them out or flow out pretty much in a peaceful way. Otherwise, with coping, I would say, just never find yourself in the wrong. I mean, don't doubt your own self. You can find yourself in the wrong, but don't doubt yourself.
Do you know what I do when I'm stuck on negative people that I've had to get out of my life? Work on projects. Like, seriously, if you're an artist, do art. If you're into electronics, do electronics. Or save up some money and spend it on some nice piece of gear. Like I just bought, like, a really expensive camera. And it's like, do I really need the super expensive camera? Not exactly, but I'm interested in it. I'm researching it. I'm really liking what I'm doing. I'm going out. I'm having a good time. I'm like taking all these awesome shots, and I'm starting up a Flickr account that I've got going now. And it's like, it's not that I need it. It's not even necessarily that I'm better than anybody else at it or anything. It's just simply like I can do this and I can enjoy it and I can have a good time and I can make this something in my life that's fun and cool. And, you should do that. Do some projects of some kind. Make up something. Anything. So yeah. Oh, you got one more email?
I have a quick one, since I had it all.
Alright, do a quick one, because we got to get out of here.
First time listening live. This was last week. Actually, I think it was 2 weeks ago. But they listened live anyhow. I love your show. It was the first time in the furry fandom that I was watching the show. I was also at AC this year, but only for Saturday. I was thinking about going to Midwest FurFest, but not sure about it.
Do it.
Would you recommend going to FurFest?
Do it. Go to Midwest FurFest. Go to it. It's the best con ever. It is literally like the best con in the entire U.S. in my opinion.
I love Midwest FurFest so much. So, I do even recommend to anyone that hasn't gone.
Just go to Midwest FurFest. Just do it. It's good. There's some little aspects that other cons get better, like the fact that you can walk to a restaurant in a decent amount of time. But other than that, go to MFF. Really, really good time.
There really is only... Well, the restaurants aren't too bad at walking distance. You got to just walk down a block and a half and then...
In freezing cold weather.
It's not always freezing cold.
The thing is, when you register for MFF, you get free food the whole weekend. So, you don't really need to go out. Plus, there's a restaurant in the hotel that's actually not that overly priced. And they have good sushi, which I don't eat sushi, but I've just heard people say that it's good sushi. So, yeah, have fun with that. Anyway. Well, this has been a a productive show. I'm happy we did it. It was a little different because just being you and me, no CJ, but we pulled it off.
It's always a little different when there's just a wolf and a fox.
Yeah.
I like the camera angle, though.
I do like this camera angle when it's directly on us. It's just nice. It's just, it's nice. Anyway.
You're getting really close to my face to make me uncomfortable. Stop.
How's it going,
Stop.
Pharaoh?
Stop.
Pharaoh, I'm gonna
Stop.
hug you.
Stop.
Hi guys, I'm on Pharaoh's mic. What? I'm just hugging you. How's it going? I feel like I can just put all my body weight on you and you'll be okay with it.
Your face is bony and it hurts.
I don't know. Anyway. That was weird. I feel like this entire side of my face is just gonna like light on fire.
It's actually straight now.
Just this side of my face. How does that work?
I don't know. I don't even ask the questions anymore. I just go with it.
Anyway, you guys are listening to FurCast live on XBN. We'll be back. Well, no, what am I saying? No. Thank you for tuning in. I've been your host this evening, Paradox the Red Wolf.
Was it like a remix?
Yeah. Exactly what it was. Paradox the Red Wolf. There you go.
That sounded like one of the terrible
I know.
radio DJs. It's like, Dingo and the Baby. And then like some stupid sound effect. Well, I've been your fabulous Blue Fox host, Pharaoh.
Sorry, I had to do it.
You need to go back to Wolf Academy. You need to learn about the moon. You need to learn how to draw circles.
What?
So you need retraining in Wolf Academy.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next week for no Friday Night Tech next week, but there will be next week, the week after next week. And then holy shit, it's almost the end of summer. Let's not talk about that. Let's not mention that. Happy thoughts, everybody. Happy thoughts.
There's a corn festival happening in my town.
Corn festival. That fair hasn't even happened yet. That's how not over summer is. The fact that the fair has not happened yet.
My town right now is having a festival of corn.
A corn festival. It's pretty crazy.
It is called Corn Festival in Eden.
All right, this is the part where I release the loop in the music, so we better finish up here. I love it. Air conditioner. Everybody, shout out to air conditioner. Yeah. We'll be back next week, guys. See ya.
This is the Zana Broadcasting Network.
What?
Huh?
I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Bye, YouTube. Bye. Bye, YouTube.